It's another Wednesday. It's another Wednesday. Today is the 5th of February. We're drawing close to the celebration of Armed Forces Day. Yesterday was a symposium at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex, bringing together 4 panelists. Councillor Ernestine Morgan Owl of the National Elections Commission, Councillor Arthur Johnson, Hassan Kewu of the Liberia Broadcasting System, and of course Deputy Minister Ibrahim Nyeng of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Wonderful discussion. Well, good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining us as usual. We're here this morning to deliver to you. We're here to do your job. No matter where you are, however you're listening, we'd like to say good morning to all of you. In the midst of the Nima County by-elections, we are hearing the widow of Senator Prince Johnson has endorsed the current Representative Samuel Koga as the president to support in that by-election. And I'm sure the elections is going to be held sometime in April this year. A lot of things will happen ahead of it. A lot of endorsements will be done in Monrovia and some in the county. Let's watch and see what's going to happen. Okay. Let's take a break and come back here and talk about some of the issues. So if you're just entering this great city, our capital, Monrovia, historic, we'd like to say welcome to all of you just entering. If this is the first time, well, we are here. We love strangers. Maybe you're leaving town for Painesville, going to work, going on an errand, whatever it is, go well. And of course, this morning again, we are hearing about the sad passing of former Star Radio, one-time Hell of News, Anthony Allor Joseph Matthew Cheeseman. Joe Cheese hasn't been well for some time, and just yesterday, we're talking about him in our Star Radio chat room, former Star Radio Workers chat room. And then we just got a message in the chat room this morning that one of his sons, has confirmed that the old man is no more. Our condolences to the Cheeseman family, to all of us who worked for Star Radio. And one of our colleagues, Moses Wenyu, also lost, I think his dad. Our condolences to all of you. Joseph Cheeseman was someone to work with. The last time I saw him was at the Supreme Court. He was now a lawyer. At some point he was working with the Carter Center. I don't know whether he was still with the Carter Center, but I know I saw him at the Supreme Court and we spoke. Wow, too many deaths, too many things are happening in the country. Let's take a break to be back.
Are you looking for service? Internet service, fast, reliable service. For your home and your office, unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose Connect, Connect, Connect. Choose Connect, Connect, Connect. Choose Connect. Connect.
Banking Institute of Liberia, the training arm of the Liberia's Bankers Association and the Central Bank of Liberia, announces the commencement of its professional training program in the following categories. Professional development training. This targets graduate and seniors and degree holders. Courses we offered include microfinance, banking and finance, public accounting and finance, audit and internal controls, procurement and supply chain management, monitoring and evaluation, compliance and corporate risk management, work planning and report writing, office administration and organization management, customer service and human resource management, project planning and management, and computerized accounting, which includes QuickBooks, Excels, and Tally. Duration for this program is 3 months. Tuition is just US $275. The second program covers business development training. The Banking Institute of Liberia also offers training for high school graduates and college students in small business development and management and microfinance management. Duration for this program is just 2 months. Tuition stands at $205. All of our fees are payable in 3 installments. Training program at the Banking Institute of Liberia are facilitated by bank executives and financial experts. BRL is committed to providing professional training to all of its clients at international standards. For more information, visit the Institute's office on Warren and Kerry Street's intersection in the old Microfinance building of the Central Bank of Liberia. Banking Institute of Liberia, the Center of Excellence in Banking and Financial Management Training.
Join us for an unforgettable evening of romance and elegance Saturday, February 15, 2025, starting at 5 p.m. till the break of dawn at Silver Beach in Duazon. Come and experience a sumptuous 3-course meal cooked by Executive Chef James Mabukawa from the UK. For romantic entertainment, relax to live music from our band and special performances from DJ M2 from the UK. T-Light, the board that made the Basel people dance, and your MC. Feature Doe. Ticket prices: petrol $100, couples $50, single $30. Guest house and lodging are also available. For reservation, call us at +231 777 443 322 or +004 4798 4330 410. February 15, 2025, Saturday at Silver Beach in Duazon. Liberia, the sun is shining, and so are your opportunities to enjoy 24 hours current with Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Why let the power of the sun go to waste when you can make use of it to generate current for your home, business, or community? With our state-of-the-art solar panels, you will enjoy 24 hours uninterrupted power, reliable energy, a greener, cleaner Liberia. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution offers top quality, durable, and affordable solar panels designed for Liberia's sunny climate. So why wait? Call us today on 0772 262584 or visit our showroom, Claratown or Umako building adjacent the RB Bank. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Let's power your future with the sun together.
Attention, attention, attention to all lovers of the good things in life. A house is not a home, and a home is the one place where you should feel relaxed and accomplished. Your home should reflect who you are. So, it's time to make that upgrade with minimal damage to your pockets. And I have the perfect solution for you. Home Sweet Home, located on Benson Street, between Center and Buchanan Streets, got you covered. From the kitchen, we have air fryers, juice makers, pressure cookers, freezers of all sizes, and all the modern kitchenwares you can think about. From the bedroom, we have top of the line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it. and soft, comfortable towels for your bathroom. And in the living room, we have high-definition TV sets of all sizes, unique aerial rugs, classy curtains in all the colors you desire, wall paintings of different sizes and colors, furniture, and everything you can think about for the home. All that at unbelievable prices. We even have low voltage, high quality washing machines and dryers to keep your clothes fresh and new at all times. As a bonus, we have fashion accessories for both the young and the old, designer quality bags, hats, and rare jewelries. So if you love yourself, your family, and your home, it's time to treat it right. Visit Home Sweet Home on Benson Street between Center and Buchanan Streets for that needed upgrade. Or you can call them on 0886 834 944 or 0770 581 420. Home Sweet Home, for the love of a classy home.
Is your car sick? Is your car having engine problem, wheel alignment, or air conditioning problems? Then here's your solution. Here's the medication for your car. Automed's Garage on Girdle Street, opposite the Old General Ministry, is the right clinic for all your cars. With our local and international professional mechanic, we get your car back in good shape. Automed's Garage. We have a multi-spray booth that leaves your car sparkling, or Car Care Center, CCC, that takes care of your car interior and exterior. We get your car the modern rims and doors handle. Let's just say we pimp your ride. Make your car look modern at Automed's Garage on Girdle Street. We have a professional tire center that change your tire in no time. With our state-of-the-art diagnosing machine, we know exactly what's wrong with your car. No guessing. Our tow service is one of its kind. Tow your car for a reasonable amount if we won't fix your car, and for free if Automeds will service your car. Our prices are unbeatable and our customer service is outstanding. So whatever your cars need, call Automeds Garage on Girdle Street, opposite the Old General Ministry, on 0555-535-307 or 0777-884-077. Automeds Garage. We care for your cars.
I become a vessel for my happiness.
Everything make it crazy.
Quickly. Toyo, Toyo, I Toyota Prado. Toyo, Toyo, I Toyota Prado. They get more in the morning, more in the same, bring me back safely. They get more in the morning, more in the same, bring me back quickly.
For over and over, Toyota bring Chris up Prado. I can run in the mud and sand, Toyota bring Chris up Prado. For over and over, Toyota bring Chris up Prado. I can run in the mud and sand, Toyota bring Chris up Prado. That's why you can connect it one for yourself or your company car in the Prado. It get too much, I get electrical power, steering control. The car they got Prado, it can't lose. Toyota bring new generation of cars and Land Cruiser Prado that one of the stars. See got motor selling Toyota cars, so if you want Prado, you just need to ask. Yeah, for on and off road, Toyota bring Land Cruiser Prado. I can run in the mud and sand, Toyota bring Land Cruiser Prado. Toyota has brought a brand new Land Cruiser that is called Prado. And the Prado has a very beautiful design and it has a high power engine that can run in mud in heavy sand. And Siga Moto is the sole distributor of the latest Land Cruiser Prado. Siga Moto get the best garage in Iberia that can service, repair, and sell brand new parts. The thing that you can call spare part. Siga Moto una partner can come directly from the Toyota company in Japan. And Siga Moto is located on Bruce Island in Seyon Town community, right around Looking Town West too.
waiting for LEC token you purchased since last week? Wait no more. Dial *156*44# and enter your meter number to get your token instantly. Enjoy ease and convenience with MTN Mobile Money.
MTN.
You still waiting for LEC token you purchased since last week? Wait no more. Dial *156*44# and enter your meter number to get your token instantly. Enjoy ease and convenience with MTN Mobile Money.
Okay. Thank you so much. At this juncture, we take our usual fact check segment.
Hello and welcome to the fact check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On February 4, John Siafa, the mayor of the city of Monrovia, claimed in a Ministry of Information press briefing that plastic makes up 20% of Liberia's waste composition. Mayor Siafa made the claim while discussing the efforts that the city corporation is making to tackle waste management in the city. To fact check this claim, we first contacted Mayor Siafa through the MCC for the source of the data provided. The MCC and Mayor Siafa have not responded to our inquiry. When they do, we will update this report. We also reviewed the website of the MCC Waste Management Department, but did not find any data on Liberia's waste composition. Further research also found June 2023, World Bank Group publication tagged the National Overview of Plastic Life Cycle, Governance and Initiatives in Liberia. The publication reveals that Liberia generates 0.44 kilogram of municipal solid waste per capita per day, and plastic accounts for approximately 14% of the daily waste accumulated in the country. In addition, the Environmental Protection Agency also stated in a 2024 article that plastic accounts for approximately 14% of the daily waste in Liberia, citing the 2023 World Bank report on the overview of Liberia's plastic life cycle. Based on this, we conclude that the claim made by Mayor John Siafa that plastic makes up 20% of Liberia's waste composition is incorrect. A report from the World Bank puts plastic at 14% of daily waste generated in the country. A viral WhatsApp link circulating online has claimed that Orange Liberia is offering free 30 gigabytes to all its old SIM card users. To check eligibility, applicants are asked to click and fill in a form. We analyzed the link using ScamDoc, a tool for detecting scams, and found it to be unreliable. The tool flagged the link with an average trust call warning that further investigation is needed before use, which is a clear red flag. Based on these findings, we conclude that the claim that Orange Liberia is offering free 30 gigabytes to old SIM card users is misleading. The link is fake and likely designed to steal personal information from users. Well, this is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia and OKFM, Prime FM, and Cool FM to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner has no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Friday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. If you want us to fact check a claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0777-556296 and we will check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, Twitter at LVL Fact Check, and don't forget to go to our website, www.localvoicesliberia.com. Thanks for listening. I have been your presenter, Aria Dimi.
Thank you so much, Harriet, and thanks to the folks at Local Voices Liberia for all you do for our country. These fact check segments are making significant impact. Now public officials and others are aware of what to say in the public. Today is Wednesday, 5th of February, and of course the year remains 2025. Yes, the Joseph Chisman Jr. just confirmed to me that his dad is no more. It's a side event. Those of you who want to find a family home, you can go around the SACON office there in Congo Town and ask for Joseph Chisman's residence. To all of you, we like to say our deepest sympathy. He was very, his days at Star Radio was some of the best, man. J Cheese, we miss you. To all of my colleagues, we have to check on the family. We're told he hasn't been too well. Then the old man went and had an accident in recent time. That's what I heard. He had an accident. He's been sick, and he died this morning at the SD Cooper Hospital. And our other colleague, I would say, Moses, when you also lost his father. The burial is this weekend in Orange Grove, in Grand Bassa County. Mrs. Martha Ines Mason from the U.S., your son-in-law, Francis Nyenswa, wants me to say happy birthday to you. Today you are celebrating 79th. Well, God's grace has taken you this far. Mrs. Martha Ines Mason, happy birthday to you from Francis Nyenswa. The wife of our CEO, Mrs. Reed is also celebrating her birthday today. Mrs. Reed, we like to say we join CEO and the kids and everybody to say happy birthday to you. Samuel Due says, that same Due says, good morning, okay family. I'm watching from St. Paul Bridge community. Opi Onu Johnson follows. Honor the Palava Hut. Who says this is a page? You say authoritarianism, nepotism, torture, mob violence, one-palm corruption, abuse of office, state-sponsored killings. This one is too small. He says state-sponsored killings. You gotta be talking based on facts, man. Roberta Richard says, I'm watching from Kentucky. Samuka Keita is watching us from Zulu Whiskey. Kano Mimi Taguia is watching from the UK. George Watkins Jr. is following us from somewhere in District 18. Monserrato Shortom Foley is watching from Hotel Africa Row. Roland W. Toll. George Kasu Zuba is watching. Golf Favor Alfred Fuller is also watching. Emmanuel Peters, Sam J. Walker, Alexander Paulo, Angela Tutte is also watching, and all these people are watching with us. We'd like to say good morning to all of you. Thanks for always watching. Clarence Benson joins us from Ontario, Canada. Momo Zoga, and all these people are joining us. Let's go to the BBC and see what the BBC is reporting this morning about other places in Africa. Let's take a few stories from here. Ghana. Is this from Ghana? South Africa. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has moved to diffuse a row with the new U.S. administration over a new land law by speaking to Elon Musk. Musk is a close advisor to U.S. President Donald Trump, who on Sunday threatened to cut off future fundings to South Africa over allegation that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. The South African born tech billionaire joined in criticism, asking on X why Ramaphosa had opened racist ownership laws. Well, still with the Democratic Republic of Congo, the ceasefire there is continuing. Let's come back home. So, like I said, in Nimba, the widow of the late Senator Prince Johnson, we are hearing, has endorsed Samuel Koga as her choice for the Nima County senatorial by-elections. We are hearing this decision was taken after a meeting at the home of the senator here in Monrovia. We are also hearing about others. I'm hearing about former superintendent and former, Internal Affairs Minister Harrison Conway. He has not spoken officially, but I heard. I'm also hearing about former representative and one-time Senate. Did he contest for the Senate? I need to check it up. Garrison Yelu, daughter, Garrison Yelu, the Viangle boy. I'm hearing that Garrison Yelu also would like to contest the Nima County by-election. Frankly, Dolokwi the other time gave us names of people who contest the elections in Nimba. The by-elections in Nimba is critical for Vice President Jeremiah Kwan. Why? Because take it or you leave it, all of the Nimba people will not have to come together to say this is our new political leader. They necessarily don't have to do that. But rationally, political expediency will tell you that he is now the face of the Nima politics. And so the Nima County by-elections is going to be a test case for Vice President Jeremiah Kun. Let's see who Kun will support. But from all indications, and as somebody who followed the politics in Nimba and other places in Liberia, I can tell you that Vice President Kun will support. Let me say might. Let me be careful. Let me say might. But I know this is something around 95, 96% that I'm convinced that the Vice President will support Representative Samuel Koga. From all indications, from what I'm seeing, from what I'm reading, the writings are on the wall. Kun may likely support Samuel Koga. So there is a big argument now in Nimba about the politics, about the replacement of Senator Prince Johnson. And all politics is local. Sometimes people say things they necessarily don't want to sound tribalistic, but that is the reality on the ground. Especially in a big county like Nimba, there was a time one group of the population thought it was not good to be an all-Gill affairs. They thought the two senators were Gill people. Senator Prince Johnson and Senator Jeremiah Kwan were Gill people. And you see the Mano people and the other majority of the people, the Mandinko and the people from Bui and Doru, they were saying, no, we have to split this thing. Even to the local leadership in the county, it has always been the Gio, the Mano, and people from Pabli and the other, just like that. They try to do all these things to create ethnic balance in the running of the county's affairs so that everybody feel that they are on board. And this thing may likely, go for a long time, especially right after this is one reason why it was okay. But let me leave that. But I know, during the coming day, we'll be doing a lot of analysis about the Nima by-elections. But it depends on who you talk to. Right now, Senator Nya Tuayen is in a very difficult position. Why? Because Nya is a Mano man from Bunading. So, even if Nya, Senator Tuayen, I'm sorry, sometimes at some point I would say Nya. Even if Senator Tuayen wanted to support one of his kinsmen or somebody from his tribe, from the Mano tribe, it would be very difficult to sell, because people would think, he's trying to bring back the same politics his tribal people were preaching yesterday, that they didn't want to see a Gil-dominated Senate, two Gil senators. And I think it was from this backdrop that Senator, but now Vice President Jeremiah Kun, when they won the elections, and there was a by-election as a result of that. These are some of the reasons why all of them supported Nya Tuayen, to ensure ethnic balance, so that they have one Gil senator and a Mano senator, to ensure that balance in the country. So I'm not saying any Mano person cannot contest in the Nima by-election. That is not my point, because everybody should have the right to contest, as a matter of fact. But it will be very difficult, because even some of the sons and daughters of Nimba who are from the Mano tribe, they will probably prefer a Gil candidate. Why? Because Senator Johnson was a Gil man. So they may want to have another Gil president to replace Senator Johnson, so that along with Nyan Twine, the country can have a balance at the Liberian Senate. So it's one Gil senator and a minor senator. I'm sure that's what they're going to do. In the coming weeks, by the time the National Elections Commission announced the process open, candidate registration is on, and other candidates have registered and they become candidates now, we will do a critical, comprehensive, contextual political analysis of the situation in Nimba and tell you the advantage and disadvantages of each of the candidates and why we think this person may have an urge, why we think this person may necessarily not have an urge, and all these kinds of things. We'll move on with the Nimba politics. Now, President, I want to take some time this morning to talk to President Boakai, but firstly, I just wanted to let you know that, look, everything that is happening in America, everything that President Donald Trump and the administration is doing, is just basically domestic politics, but it will have several international extensions. That's the fact. But everything that is happening now is domestic politics. So don't let anybody make you to think that overnight everything is going to shut down all over the world. No, it's not going to be so. It's going to take some time. I think what's happening now, all politics is local. President Trump think, what Donald Trump and the Biden administration, they were at each other's throat. He's thinking that there are a lot the Biden administration did that may necessarily, or that was necessarily not in the foreign policy interest of America. And so taking over as president of the country now, he will have to undo a lot, review some of these things, and probably make a comeback. But I'm not sure he's going to shut everything down in the war. It's not possible. There are commitments countries made, there are commitments countries can make, and all these kinds of things are happening. For example, the Biden administration is saying it spent a little over or some 177 billion in Ukraine. Zelensky is saying the government, his country, received only 77. Is there not sufficient reason why Donald Trump should do some of the things that he's doing? So all the Trump administration is doing, in my opinion, from my little diplomatic knowledge, is, look, he's trying to ensure that whatever assistance America is giving out anytime soon or in the future is aligned with the foreign policy objectives of the United States. America only operates on interests. So he thinks that America is giving some money to institutions and organizations and other countries that are not aligned with the foreign policy interests of America. Any president should do that. Any president should do that. But the global effect of it also is that by extension, some countries are going to get directly affected. Well, funding EA and other things to other countries may cut. And that is why a country like Liberia now, the professionals and everybody must have their hands on deck. You do not have, let's not wait until Donald Trump say, something is going to happen in Liberia, cancel it, something. No. Countries are now doing it. Their best minds are coming together now at the table to say, look, what can we do in the midst of this new political dimension by the Trump administration? I mean, that you say is even reviewing his activity, or they're reviewing the activity for some 90 days and other things are happening, should give anybody the reason why we should sit around the table and have a conversation as to what can we do. What can we do? How can we move further? Because it is possible after the revision, recommendation could go to President Trump to say, no, after our revision of the process, we are cutting this one. Okay, we'll give more funding to the one. We will take some money away from this one. We will do this one. We'll do this one. So even though everything is not coming to stop in the world, but the action by the Trump administration will have an effect by extension on many countries around the world. Just by pulling out of the World Health Organization alone, whether for review purpose or whatever, is a big blow. It means the WFP itself is not going to have the kind of capacity it used to have before. That sends a signal everywhere in the world. That is the reason why you and these are some of the reasons when we say some things. Look, let me be honest with you. Some of the people who work in the different areas in the government, the salaries they making, the benefits they making, and all these things, they did not put it there. They made it there. They inherited it. That is the argument, but that is also the fact. Some of these people were appointed by President Boakai. They went to the different places of assignment. They met all the different salaries and the benefits and everything. That is the fact. They are not the one who proposed it. They didn't make it. They met it there. But that we are meeting it there does not negate the fact that we can sit around the table. Look, listen. There is now sufficient reason for court in plenty of these things. When I was listening to not Samoa, the other person, I think he's one of the heads at the central bank. Look, my hair was just rising. That one person in the country, so it means the only thing that man doing for himself now would just be to wake up from bed and come to work. Almost the central bank governor. I mean, when you listen to the salary, you listen to the benefit, the gas slip, the this, the that, in a kind of small country, and our argument should not be, oh, the central bank governor job is a tough job. The person will have to do the. Listen, we know it's a tough job, but there is nothing that stops us from looking at salaries and benefits and say, look, besides the whole Donald Trump thing, in fact, the Donald Trump thing now it makes it more compelling. The Donald Trump thing should make it more compelling now, Mr. President. The last time the president said, how to call the group that after massacre heading, state-owned enterprises. They say they were having a conversation. The president instructed them to set a committee to look at salary structures for people working in SOEs and all the kind of thing. We even know how that one gone. Look, times are hard. And you know, every human being get their own flaws. Senator Dillon, yes, human being got his own flaws. But Senator Dillon has consistently said, and I don't know how far that he built gone at the legislature. He has been proposing that members of the legislature make only 5,000 as a salary. All of us sitting, we acting the winner. These are things we should be having a conversation about. So the central bank governor, and I know other people is in different institutions, state-owned enterprises. When you hear about the salary and the benefits, look, let's take for example, Mr. President. Look, the way things are going. Let's take for example, Mr. President, if we were to say, look, everybody that benefiting from housing allowance, whether in SOEs or everywhere, we gotta slash it out. Some of these people are living in their own homes for God's sake, man. And this is where rationality is supposed to come in now. Where we are now, we're supposed to be sitting and be thinking about how we can do some small cutting to find money and pull it into different things. Oh, honestly, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Oh, no, all these people are almost living in their own homes, but still we're giving them housing allowances. Look at some people's salary. We can call it that small. It is even now time for the legislature to say, you know what? Every 3 years the government buying a car. Let's just be buying car once 6 years. And the senators will say every 3 years government buying a car, 9 years that 3 cars. Maybe we can reduce it to 2 cars. Let all of us, everybody should have a conversation about how they can try to minimize some of these things so that money that the government will be able to raise for these things can go to other areas. You look at one man, the government giving the man gas slip. The government giving him car, will put the gas in the car. Then the government giving another gas slip. The generator that to a hall. The government will put gas in that generator. The government paying him cook. The government pay somebody to wash his clothes. The government paying him very fat salary. Then he living in his own home, but the government giving him housing allowance. Like I said, some of these things were necessity many years ago. But are they still necessity? Can we review it? Even if we say, okay, let everything remain, but can we review it small to say, if you are getting $1,500 US in housing allowance per month, we're cutting it down to $750, 50%. We need money to do other things. And you getting the kind of salary, then you getting gas. So what we'll do, we can get gas for your car, but we can't get gas for generator to your house. Let's have a conversation, Mr. President. Because the Liberian people elected you to find solution to all these problems we're talking about. That is why you name your team the rescue team. You have come to rescue the Central Bank of Liberia so to the extent that the governor and the other people who are making too much money and benefits, these monies and the benefits will be cut down small. That's why you came to rescue, Mr. President. You came to rescue the country, to look in the SOEs and other places to say, look, too much salaries and benefits are here. Let's cut some of the benefit down small and put the money to health and education and other places. That's why you came to rescue, Mr. President. Too much corruption allegation against government officials in recent times, to the extent that some government people now start speaking out. Because you see, there are some people who mean well for their country. When you set you in the government and things are happening and the leader is not talking, the leader is not taking action, sometimes you get frustrated. And when you get to that stage, you say, let me just talk. If they will sack me, let it just sack me, but I will talk. Too much corruption allegation. Every day we wake up, oh, corruption allegedly busted here. Oh, they want busted here. The other time I was talking about post and telecommunication. Martin Colley just posted something this morning that I was going through, and I saw the minister in one of the buses sitting. The thing the minister sitting on in our bus, almost looking at the thing he said I seat where he's sitting on over there, almost looking at when you just take plank. And you know the plank, when you just take plank, you nail it, you put it in the car, you force somebody to sit down on it. I don't know how Minister Kuma is even feeding to sit down on that thing in our bus. I see why the GSA refuse the buses and say this is now our standard. You got to do the needful. Look at the situation at Nuka we're talking about. Look at the situation at Nuka everybody's talking about. And the CEO will take onto social media and she will write this. Yeah. Civil servants. Civil servants are making almost nothing. But they live in their own homes. These are the foot soldiers. These are the people to the ministries and the agencies that are making things to happen. They're living in their homes. Some of them, they're managing. Listen, if the civil servant is making 150, 120, 130, and the person is able to live in his own home or in a rented place, why are we giving people 1,000 plus 2,000 days for housing allowance? The thing that is getting to me is that these people are living in their homes. So if the situation that necessitated these things many years ago, if towns are changing, why are we not coming back to sit at the table to say the conditions that made it compulsory many years ago for us to do this? These conditions have changed, and so we must have a new conversation. We will cut down the housing allowance, we will cut down this, we will cut down this, we will cut down that. I mean, you have one man in the country, all their salary and benefit per month, some people making up to 18,000 plus salaries, benefit per month. But government struggling. Majority of the money the government is raising now is from domestic revenue. Yeah, we're getting small money from outside, but LRA tells us that majority of the monies we're raising now from domestic revenue. Why are we not looking in on these civil servants? These people are working, they are making small money, but Liberian are money, they are living here. Why are we paying people so much? Teachers, some teacher carrying some teacher making 17,000, some teacher making 18,000. Look at the CEO of Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, the former representative of district number 1. District number 4, yeah. When the issue about her buying luxury car came about, she went on Facebook and wrote this. She says, the CEO of Nuka official car is not $75,000. But she didn't tell her how much. The fact that you say it's not 75,000, it means you should be able to say how much. But she didn't say it anyway. The CEO of Nuka official car is not 75K. The CEO is aware that the position is of trust and carries sensitive information. Therefore, a CEO will not ride in one car with her driver, security, and staff. Can you imagine? So what she's trying to say is, look, I got more than one cars as CEO of no car because the position is sensitive. I can't be riding only one car with my driver and my security. At some point, I need another car. The audacity to even say the kind of thing, as if it is a provision at that workplace that as CEO. All the other CEO then have been over there recently. Who were there? Who are the Nuka CEO on job? Did the president use 2 vehicles? She said the CEO has a utility vehicle for errand. Yes, the CEO may use a utility if need arises and use an official vehicle for official matters. The CEO encourage young Liberians. That one you gotta lecture anybody. The CEO states strongly she doesn't sign checks alone, but rather with a vice president of finance, and checks signed pass through scrutiny. The CEO will not kowtow to. I don't know what she's saying here. I really don't understand that one, Paulo. But all she's saying is, yeah, I got 2 cars. Even though probably you go check to Nuka now, everybody in senior management team get car. But she say, yeah, I get 2 cars. I got one as my utility car. I get one official car. When I go on some other errand because the job so sensitive. She more than the police inspector general and the NSA boss. She more than the EPF boss. That the CEO that Nuka job is so sensitive to the extent that she will not have one car. She got to get 2 because the job so sensitive. You get security implications. You more than Gregory Como and Prince Johnson and say, who hell in NSA say? And all these things are happening in the face of global challenges. And the president is right in this town. President Bwanga is not anywhere, he's here. The president is in this town. That's why I was asking the press secretary yesterday, well, what are the president listens to radio or he reads the newspaper? She said, yeah, once in a while, but we brief him. The president is in this town, in the midst of all these people. Do you know there are people now who say any election they will not participate again? Yes. There are a lot of people who say they just give our own election bidding in Liberia now because in their opinion, nothing is changing. And the other time, a few months ago, I was talking to the president. I was talking to His Excellency the President. I said, the way you will govern this country, the decisions you will make, and the actions you will take will encourage more Liberians to vote in the next election. Or people may just say, look, nothing changing, we tired. Because a lot of people see you as a symbol of hope. A lot of people say the president is old. Yeah, but President Bwanga is old. That one not true. Everybody will get old. Marcella will get old. When people reach certain age, they are old. That's true. So the people say because of his age, the president will not think about buying new clothes anymore. The president is now a bluffer ball. The president is not thinking about wearing gold ring and gold chain. The president is not thinking about buying new car. The president is not thinking about building any home again. So the president will be straight and take some actions that will shock the whole country because he won't change. That any other person taking after him will be compared to live up to what President Bwakai will start. These are the calculations some Liberians carried on before voting for you, Mr. President. They say the president will set example that all of us will be surprised on in this country. But it seems they are getting disturbed. It seems they are getting disappointed by the day. It's good for us to remind you. A lot of people are getting disappointed. Mr. President, you ready? Doing a job where administration All of the United Party people, including the president himself, at that time, Kennedy, they used to say, oh, President, we are not color speech from all. President, we are ready, everything that going on, President, we are not color speech from all. But you're looking at President Boakai said, not color speech from all too. So all the president is cutting off speeches from us. People getting disappointed. People are getting to the stage where they just waiting for 2029 and to just, and when you let human being to get to that stage, Mr. President, a lot of the people who supported you are already disappointed. Sometimes they're not saying it on their faces because of their jobs and all these kind of things, but they say it in the corner. They say it to people. Oh, we thought the old men were going to be like this. The old I'm going to be like this. A lot of things are happening. Assistant Foreign Minister Sewa Ba has written this. She said, dear Mr. President, even if I'm one of those bringing your government to public ridicule, fire me. No one person should seek his or own interest over what the government promised to deliver on and justify their blunder. You've achieved it so much, and we won't allow those blunders undermine your efforts to rebuild and rescue our country. They paint a blurred picture of the progress made. They must get off the rescue train soon. Siwa is writing. She's disappointed. Something bothering her. This is an assistant minister who I believe love our country. So she said, Mr. President, even if I mean fire me, let me go sit down. I shouldn't embarrass you. Listen, when presidents gave people opportunity to serve their country, it's for good intention. So if you can't perform, the president should fire you. But the president is in this town. A lot of things are happening. Some of the places we're supposed to pull the money, we're not pulling it there. Like just last evening, a friend of mine from Abuja was you know what the African Union, the people trying to do now, the people, they gave the armed forces of Liberia up to March next month. If Liberia cannot find the 1.3 million to transport the things, they will divide the things to other countries. They're saying they can't continue to keep this equipment. They've promised, they've given it to Liberia already. They can't continue to keep these things. Liberia cannot even get the 1.3 million to go pay for transportation to get these things here. And I've always said some of the things that the people that the AFL is supposed to bring are aligned with the president's road agenda. The people got road building equipment. The money we're supposed to be taking to bring plenty of the road building equipment here. When we gave that 1.3 million, the AU is not just giving weapons, they got road building equipment. We acting it, we're not seeing it. By the time it be March, different countries, and there are some countries that are just standing by 1.3 million, they will not scratch their heads. They will just give it and they will benefit all these things. Mr. President, you got to rise up. That is the reason why some people can say the president is not in charge. The president is not in charge. Yeah, you could be right, but the president is the president of the country. He should be in charge. I don't know what can happen with that president job. I know around the people the president can put around. The president can listen to certain president before he or she goes to bed and wakes up from bed or what. And the president can get certain people that anything they say that they found out, and sometimes they can't tell him the truth. Sometimes I can be thinking all these things. Because if the president of the country, Liberia not too big, if the president of the country is right here in Monrovia, and all these things are happening, and I mean, the president puts up a posture as though he is not here and he's not hearing anything, and it's like let the people talk. I don't understand. Let's look at our laws. Let's revisit some of our laws. The whole thing about housing allowance. I know even civil servants in certain categories supposed to have housing allowance. I will lay my hands on the law. But let's look at the laws a little bit and come on the table. Because listen, because even in the homes, if the woman cooking 10 cup of red because things correct, the day things start getting some kind of way, the papa can tell the woman, say, we need to drop that thing down to 7 cups. We got to manage it with 7. We can't keep cooking 10. We got to manage it with 7. Our guest at 8 is coming from the Public Procurement and Concession Commission. And then 9 o'clock, a Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister for International Cooperation, Dr. Ibrahim Yank, will join us here. They've been in Morocco and signing all these papers. He's coming to tell us what will it translate into when it comes to direct benefit for the country. You know, other countries repeatedly will look at the laws, because as things are changing, you look at the law to be changing. When we getting plenty of money, when we able to raise 1 billion and everything, then we say no, let's carry even the housing allowance. We can say let's carry way up because we're getting more money now. Let's increase civil servant salary. We're getting more money now. The gas slip and other things for people, let's increase it. But when things are getting bad too, we should be able to say no. Let's sit at the table. If we are giving you housing allowance in the tune of $500 per month, we're making it $250. We'll take the $250, we direct it to the other side. We'll do that. How people can do the thing. President, you here, oh man, you ain't nowhere. You are here. Your advisors are here. And you know that the thing about the thing is, some of the people who have been here over the years advocating for all the good for Liberia, some of them are now in the government. Samuel Kofi Woods, when Taylor was here, Kofi Wood then was here. Kofi Wood was the head of the Foundation for International Dignity. They were advocating for human rights and people rights and all kind of rights and good governance and everything. Kofi Wood is now the National Security Advisor to the President. He here. Kofi Wood now, and then Kofi Wood is here. Kofi Wood is the National Security Advisor to the President. He's here in the midst of all these things happening in the country. People talking about Kofi Wood is here. The Kofi Wood that we knew yesterday, he here. The tough talking Kofi Wood, he is here. He's in the government. What's going on? That's what I can be saying. Is it about people taking on public office to really change the country and change the lives of the people? Or it is just about one group of people can't serve for 6 years, my man, you go sit down at our time. Then the other group of people can't serve for 6 years at our time. Then another group of people can't serve for 6 years. Yeah, what are things are changing? Now our business. Kofi Wood, yeah. There were times in the country Kofi Wood was celebrated. Because of course, I mean, that was his time. He did it best. But people expect that when he in government now, there are a lot of things that will happen now. Human rights issue and all kind of things. Because this is what he fought for. This is what others fought for. But these people will fight for all these things. By the time they are giving government jobs, then it's a different ball game. This is the OK Morning Rush. We're taking just a few calls. Our guests are already here. We'll soon usher them in exactly at 8:15. We'll get the Public Procurement and Concession Commission. I know the Executive Director, Nathan Bangu, supposed to be here. 0777700995, 0555026995, 555995995 are the numbers to call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence Piso Jazzy.
Good morning, sir.
This is the voice of Sabu Rasta, Clarence joining you from Point 4 this morning, to be precise, Clarence in Zimbabwe. You know, Clarence, you make my day this morning. That's why, you know, sometimes when I go to my friends, I can always tell them that Clarence is one of the best things I like to listen to in the morning.
Let's just go ahead, Chili. All of the day I thought you want, yeah, you like to that, but go ahead.
You know, Clarence, this old man, our president, Joseph Nyamabwaka, told us that he has 40 years experience, Clarence, that he will bring it to the table. Our president told us that we have never brought in company, he was going to bring company. You are going to make the market easy for us, Karen. He said you are going to make the road smooth. Karen, he said you are bringing heaven down to Liberia. But today, Karen, it's so frustrating and disheartening to see this rescue train now fell into the valley. Karen, I just imagine, Karen, our government fall into a hole that cannot The train cannot move in a train lead or tractor to take the train from the hole, Clarence. Can you imagine, Clarence? It's so frustrating this morning, Clarence. I said to my old man, listening to you, Clarence. Where is Uncle Joe? When the train will go, Clarence, when the train will go, Waka, when the train will go, because Clarence, it's so disheartening, Clarence, to see Joseph Iman Waka, who told us that, President, we are nowadays, not even on flat die, he said, President, we are killing the flat. Today, only administration people die, nobody care, Clarence.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Hello?
Clarence, good morning.
Good morning, Chief.
Yeah, Clarence, my name is Tipes Mato, and I call you from Johnsonville this morning.
Mato, let's hear you.
Hello, Clarence. Whoever has supported this government.
Oh, guy, I didn't cut you off. Oh, you went off. I didn't cut you off. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. This is Atisano. Thank you for the topic this morning. You see, Clarence, what I've noticed about Liberia is that many Liberians only fighting for salary and benefit. They care less about the changing the country for the good of the majority. Nobody has interest in the country. People have interest what they can get. And it is not helping the country. In fact, you made mention of central bank. It doesn't make any sense. I read the report. How will an institution that did not forgive corporate social responsibility, it doesn't make any sense to me. So you bringing the country down. You're taking the country into backwardness. There are certain things you have to protect. If somebody tells me that people are the board member, the executive government did not do anything, then I see something wrong with them. And I see them paying them, it hurts my heart. And the partners are watching. You cannot deplete the central bank, then they pay you for stealing, then you expect the partners to give you money to pay off your insurance. It is not good. If the central bank was never the central bank, it has collapsed.
Okay, Archie, you've said it.
I think there is a need that will do something about it.
Okay, Archie, you've said yours. Let's go back here. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm Prince as we are calling for Virginia.
Let's hear your part.
My one year this morning is about the EFL equipment to Liberia. You see, they say the Liberia government is playing a game with. It will catch up with us and we will start to play the EFL around here. And this will come here to the government. You don't play with the army of your country. We have opposite days coming. We have other emergencies for the EFL in Liberia. 1.3 million is nothing for the government to allocate for our AFL. But today, the AFL, they are crying for this 1.3 million. We cannot provide that money for the people to get the equipment in Cameroon. This is a bad precedent this government is setting. I don't know what Joseph Baka is saying about all of the order he giving here and there, or executive order this and that. He cannot give executive order for them to pass that budget to give the money that will get those equipment in our country. It's very bad. And another thing is the rule of law. There's nothing this government is doing to set an example for the rule of law in this country. Everything is just going upside down. But the Liberian people, we are watching. We are watching from a distance. And when our court is filled, we will take action. Thank you this morning.
Thank you. Let me take this call. We're taking two more. We got our guests are already here. Hello?
Clarence, morning.
Yeah, by fire, by force. Yeah, go ahead.
Dear here. I'm currently driving with no frequency.
My man, you driving no frequency way in Broadway.
I'm driving. Let me blow one year. I'm driving.
My man, go ahead.
Lie easily. Now, Clarence, this is the time to show how patriotic and nationalistic we are. The time, even you, Clarence, when there is not in the family, from the job site, you call your family, they say, hey, we're spending this amount, we have to cut it down. The time has come that our people cut down. I read a piece this morning from Musa Bini. I just don't understand why maybe he didn't see it. It was a very brilliant piece that he wrote. That they should cut down. Yeah, check it out. They should cut down a benefit to about 50%.
I'm telling you.
Based on what is happening right now. Because we don't know what is going to happen. You will not wait when something happens before you try to take a step. On the issue of our president, I want to appeal to our president to please listen to the radio. I'm begging him. He's all of us president. Because Clarence, if the president listens to radio, he doesn't need Kula Fofana to go and explain to him, Mr. President, this is what the people are saying. Because when you allow your people around you to listen to radio, they can't tell you, they can't, like Kula said, they can go and brief the president. They will tell you what they want you to hear. They will not tell you all of the truth. On the issue of our official from Nuka, but Clarence, I think you made a mistake this morning. I will tell you, you see that position the lady occupy is a diligent position, delicate one. It's a very big position. She needs an escort. That's not a position you just buy and get one car.
Baba, man, you've been late, man. Baba, man. She needs an escort. Let me take hello?
Clarence, morning.
Good morning. Representative Francis Afoko, let's hear you finally, then we can take our guests.
Morning, Clarence. Happy New Year.
Many happy return, my brother.
Okay, so
my man, to see you now, Monte Plotter.
I'm here in my district, Chief.
Okay, let's hear you.
So basically my attention has been, though there are many critical issues in the country, but my attention has been drawn to the withdrawal of USA, or the 3 months issue with USA that is causing some problem in our country, most especially I think the decision from most of those young people who are benefiting from those different schools that USA been taken care of, and some of our other people. We know that things will get tough, but one of the rule of law just did a post on Facebook concerning the leaders making decisions. I want us to come to the position to realize that it's about time that Liberia take care of ourselves, because we have what it takes to take care of ourselves. So I sent openly this morning to support the decision from the Rule of Law Caucus, where we leaders, the salaries that we are making in this country, that sacrifice should not come from the citizen. Those things should not affect those Liberians who are going to school, those young people who are in different universities that are benefiting from USA. Those decisions from our international partners should affect us as leaders and not our citizens.
Okay.
So I think it's about time that we leaders make the decision to reduce our salaries and benefits, to reduce the issue of the 25, 30, 40,000 cars, to reduce all of the benefit of one lawmaker receiving 3,000 out of gas, and one lawmaker get 2 duty-free every year. I think it's about time that we waive those things so that it cannot affect our citizens.
So that 2 duty-free you can get, I tell that one.
2 duty-free every year to each representative and each senator.
Amen.
So imagine somebody brings a car in the country that they should spend around $10,000. And that person, most of those lawmakers are not using those duty-frees. Some of them give it off free, some of them sell those duty-free. They are not used. So my issue here is, why should government be paying you as a representative? Then at the same time, government buy you car for $45,000. At the same time, government turn around and give you additional free 2 duty-free. Why? So those duty-free can be used to take care of the
It will tell a duty-free from yourself. I think our budget will go up to $1 billion.
Chief, I can assure you, when the citizens stand up to us in our legislature, most especially the lawmakers, and we come to our ministers, our directors, the kind of privileges and benefits that we have in government. Chief, that the reason you see everybody want to go to government, because they lose money. It's loose. So it's about time now the government make a sacrifice. Let the president do that executive order and let all government official salary drop by 50%. So that we can send off our people this time around.
Thank you, friend Foko. Friends, I forgot. The man come from under the water. He say something there that me will say. I thought I won duty free. Damn it. Each lawmaker gets 2 duty free every year. So if I bring in my car that costs that I'm supposed to pay 10,000 for the government, I can just tell my man and bring it in free. Okay, we have the executive director and his head of communication at the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, They're here. Since they're two men, you might be watching and you might not know who the ED is and who the other person is. So let them introduce themselves and then we can move on. Guys, good morning. Let me start from my far right here.
Good morning, Clarence. Hi, my name is Nathan Bengu. I am the Director for Communication.
Okay, sir.
Good morning. My name is Roger Scott Johnson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Public Procurement and Construction Commission.
Mr. Johnson, how is everything? How is the PPCC?
Oh, this morning I want to say thanks for having us in the studio. It's a pleasure being here again, and great things is about to happen in our country as we are about to launch the electronic government procurement. And it's an exciting time in our country, mainly for the business community, for Liberian-owned businesses, and for government as a whole to bring about transparency, accountability, and integrity in the procurement space. So it's a wonderful time, and we're about to, the president will be launching this on Thursday, that's tomorrow, at the ministerial complex at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll talk more about that on the show. But the great things happen at PPCC. I think you see our building being renovated.
Where are you people operating for now?
No, we there. We in the same building. We didn't move. We have what we did. We reduced the staff to bring a Skellington staff in doing the renovation work, because we still have to be responsive to the government requests and different stuff. So we brought in the Skellington staff on the compliance department, found out myself, we're there every day. The good thing about that building is, it's a government-owned property. It's a government-owned building. So above the building, when you see we put a new roof, there's a slab. The whole building has a slab. I think the reason why they're trying to put another floor on top, but then because they're near the mansion for security reasons, so they just stop. But it's a slab on the tile top floor. So we were in there working while they were doing the roof. So it didn't really affect us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a slab there, so concrete slab above. Okay. So we just changed the roof or deck to make it a little decent. Because you have to protect the slab too from the rain. Mm-hmm. If you expose the slab, then concrete absorbs water. So after a while you see leakage. So we have to put a deck sheet there to just change the vicinity. So we keep that consistency of the color. The same color of the Capitol building, the gray and white. That's Capitol Hill. So we have to keep that consistency.
Conformity.
Yes, exactly, in that vicinity. So that was very important.
You're smart. You gotta be strategic.
That was very important. So we did that, and we're going to pin the fence and the rest of it and put a new sign up there. Okay. And it's government property. We have to make it look decent, and we give it a new workspace. We fixed the bathrooms. The bathrooms are all decent there. The people come. I tell people that you come to work, the day have 24 hours. You spend most of your meaningful part of the day at work, because when you go home, you want to just find something to eat and sleep and come to work the next day. So the place you work, your workplace should look decent, should look clean. That's almost like a home. You spend 8 hours of your, sometimes more than 8 hours there a day. So you should have a decent bathroom to use. It's your human right to use a decent bathroom. You should have a clean work environment. So we have done all those things in there. We have fixed the place. We're going to do it outside the yard to make it look decent. That's how my team and our PPCC, that's how we decide to just transform the place for the betterment of our people.
Okay, E.D. Johnson. Yeah, so let's hear from you before we go to Nathan. I want to hear about this platform the president is going to be launching tomorrow. I know the last time you came here, you were developing it. Thank God it's going to be launched now. What is its significance? Why that platform? What's going to change as a result of that platform?
Oh, but a lot going to happen. We rolled the platform up in September of last year. We rolled it up to 6 ministry agencies, 6 government entities, and those entities are the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, the LRA, and us PPCC, and indeed it's working very well. Okay, we decided to roll it out that time to just test the system. So the pilot is a pilot phase. Mm-hmm. So in the pilot phase, we have those six entities to make sure that it worked very well. And thus far, I want to report to the nation that it's working very fine. We have requests from the procurement plan for LRA is in the system this year. The procurement plan for Ministry of Public Works is online in the system. We're doing the one for the Ministry of Health today. We're also looking for Ministry of Finance to put the procurement plan online. So those entities have been very responsive, I must admit. So the goal here is to create transparency in the procurement space. So all this argument about we don't see government procurement, we know what happened in public works. You're even inviting the civil society organizations to come on board to come to PPCC, register, get a user ID in your password. But the most important thing is Liberian businesses. They got to come to PPCC. We now have an e-procurement clinic. Come and sign up with us.
You do?
Yes, we have an e-procurement. If you don't have a computer in your place of business, come to us. You want to submit up, you want to take part in a tender, you want to make a bid, you come to PPCC, we can help you to do that in the procurement clinic now. We're going to have state-of-the-art computers there. The computer clinic will have maybe 25 to 30 computers in the monitor sitting on the CPU sitting on the desk. You can come there, you look at the different government tenders, you come in, but you got to register us first. You got to come as a legitimate business, have your business registration, your LRA tax clearance, your NASCO stuff. Then you come to us, we issue a certificate, we train you, and we say EGP ready to go. And the goal of my brother is, if we don't do this, if our brains don't come to this, okay, I mean, our economy, you know, for the most part, foreigners are here, we have Lebanese here, but this is the time for us to take control of our own economy. It's very important. So the system is being built, it's ready to go. We roll it out now. The person is officially launching it tomorrow. That means that Liberia government officially now has e-procurement platform. So this year the goal is to bring on 50 more entity to the system this year. And the end goal is to get all government entity in the system. So this year our priority is to bring in the counties to the platform. Because the man from the counties, the county administrator from Maryland, for example, they may have to drive to Monrovia just to bring me 2 pieces of TDP sheet of paper, procurement plan. They may have to drive from Lofa to bring me procurement plan. So the system now all you need, and we'll give them laptop, we'll give them computers, we'll give them scanner, everything. The 6 months we roll it out to those 6 government entities, we'll give all the procurement department, we'll give them about 3 to 4 laptops, scan on the printer, to make sure that they'll have no excuse to say, oh, we can't load it, and we get equipment, we get a computer, we get this. So we give them everything. We give the Ministry of Finance laptops for the procurement department. We give the Ministry of Health laptop for the computer department. We also did the same for all of them: education, public works, LRA, and ourselves. So that's the end goal here. The end goal is to equip every government entity in the e-procurement space, so you have no excuse. There will be accountability. There will be transparency, so we all can see how government spend, how taxpayer money has been spent. So all this argument, oh, I don't see government tender, I can't get government contract. No. We tested the system in December, PBCC, our own procurement, for our Christmas package. And guess what? 3 companies, I think 3 or 4 companies submitted a bid. The good thing is, one of the guys, the bid was closing at 2 p.m. The other guys made it, I think 2:15. The system saw that you were late. The system shut down because the bid has the tender has a time frame. Your bid is due January 31st at 2 p.m. For example, your bid coming in there maybe at 2:30. At 2:30, there's no argument. You can see our body.
You and him will be not talking.
Exactly. Talking to the system now. So the system shuts down, and it's a tender document bid due at 2 p.m. and you say your thing at 2:15. So you say, oh, I said, well, the photo's on you now. Nobody cheated you. You submitted. You didn't read the tender properly. So you say, my man, I like the transparent. But the guy that won, he read it. He wants a Liberian guy. He won it, and he supplied the rest to the commission, and everything went very well.
Nathan, how do you support your boss in this one?
Well, Clarence, you can clearly see now at the commission there is a new wave of change. There's a vision, somebody with vision who is leading his team very well. Sometimes I stand strategically aside just to see or hear the views of the people, the conversation from the people who are passing by. With a new building, well equipped, staff well trained, the environment so good, decent for work. Now you can see that Liberia now is ready for procurement. The transition from paper-based to electronic procurement is a very good thing for our nation. What that would do for us, it would save millions. In procurement, you have almost 45 to 50% of the budget going to procurement. So if you can't tighten the screw in procurement, what happens if you let it loose? People take advantage and corrupt government. So the fact that we have brought in the system is now live. People are utilizing the system. It's going to save government of Liberia millions that will go into private pockets. Isn't it a brilliant thing to sit in Bond County, where you come from, maybe at a county service center, where we eventually deploy our staff to mine that area? Isn't it a brilliant thing for a vendor who is in Bond County doing his business to visit our site at the county service center and transact in the system, be able to submit bid through the system at that center? Isn't it also a good thing for somebody sitting in Nimba who wants to come to Monrovia, but then there is not this opportunity where the e-procurement platform is seated, and then we have represented at the county level and easily submit their bid online. I think it's a win-win situation for Liberia. We are now in a new procurement era that we ask all of the business community, those who are bidding for government contract, to take advantage of the system. Like Edie said, we'll formally launch it tomorrow. We're beginning at 10 a.m. at the ministerial complex, where the president is going to give a keynote statement. In fact, we expect that the president will mandate the use of the e-procurement system, where all of the procurement entities of government, head of procurement, and to the ministers or so will be compared to use the system to do procurement. In that way, we win as a country. We save millions for our country.
Mr. Johnson, I'm also thinking, how do you align this with making the work easier for other payment systems like the business registry and all these kinds of people? People.
The system we have has there's an integration part of it. We're supposed to be talking to the LBR, Liberia Business Registration.
Okay.
We also right now we have integrated LRA. We've integrated our NASCOP. So if you come to us, the business owner, we'll put your business information in there. It pops up that you're in good standing with LRA. You're also in good standing with NASCOP. So we'll have those integration working very well as well. But the only we have an issue with the Liberia Business Registry. We haven't been able yet to integrate, because that's the most important entity in government that we need on the system to be integrated, because that makes our life easy. If you have the LBR is integrated with the platform, it means that we basically have to just go in and pop it up and then it comes up. But for now, they still have an issue of the LBR, Liberia Business Registration. So we have not been able to interface with them yet as we speak. But the government is working on that. It's a work in progress with the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Finance to make sure that the Liberia Business Registration get on par to the system.
You know, I hope I'm not diverting, but I hope you can find a way for us to talk about it in the scene discussion.
Yeah.
I'm not a procurement professional, but I'm always passionate about procurement processes, because once it is independent and it's good, it makes a lot of things to happen good for the country. Sometimes I worry about different administrations taking over and flipping procurement people around, especially when they have no procurement idea. Are you thinking about a legislation in the future that will direct that? Say, for example, I don't care whoever become president of Liberia, procurement officers are just procurement officers. If you're taking Nathan Bango, or you should be bringing another procurement professional. You know, I'm just thinking.
Well, what you see, you are so right. We have that issue a lot. When there's a change of government, people bring people in who have no procurement knowledge. And then guess what happened? They're on the phone every second calling PPCC, oh, we need help. We need this. Can you help us to do this? Can you send somebody else? So we can't send somebody to your entity. You have to come to us if you need help, and we're willing to help you. But like I say, I think we have our current legislation, our law, our act going for revision to.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good.
But we have something in there that before you may more or less dismiss a procurement officer, you must inform the PPCC.
Yeah.
And also, who also you want to replace that person have the similar qualification or capacity as the one you're letting go. Because it's important, because I mean, I tell most head of entity, if you don't have the right procurement person, you could get in trouble as a head of entity. Honestly speaking, you could get in serious trouble with the GSC when it comes to audit. Because you could be the head of entity, you know what's happening. The procurement guys are doing their own stuff, things are happening, buying stuff. Time the audit, you say, oh, I'm not aware of it, but you're the head of the entity, you'll be held accountable. You can put it on your deputy or somebody else. You will be held accountable for anything mismanagement of any taxpayer money, because you have the incompetent staff. You will definitely be held accountable. Okay. So we try to encourage them to say, look, if you need help, come to us, but make sure the person you bring in there have the expertise, have the capacity, have the education to make sure to run your procurement department. And Mr. Benguia, we attest to that. We go through that a whole lot. Most entities, I mean, people come in government too. When this new government came, we offer training. We train all the new officers or head of entities, ministers, deputies, DMAs to a procurement workshop. We had a workshop in Ganta where we talked in the counties too. We're in the counties. We broke into 3 zones. Zone 1 was, we took Magibi, Lofa, Bon, Nima, and Grand Jida. We met in Ganta. That's Zone 1. Then Zone 2 was Maryland, Grand Cruz, Sano, River Sales, River G, Grand Basso. We met in Bikiana. Now Zone 3, we took Bapolu, Bomi, Kidman, and Mosora. We met in Monrovia. So that's how we trained the new county officials. And then that went very well too. And we did all of this through the help of our development partners, the World Bank, the United Nations, UNDP, and sometimes the USAID. But they've been shut down now, so that's a different story. But for the most part, they have been helpful. They were trying to come through to give us some support, but I think everything's been put on hold now because of the current development happening in the United States. So, but for the most part, we have been engaging the counties officials to have them trained properly. Even the e-procurement too, we're going to go in the counties too.
That's what I want to ask.
We're going to go in the counties too
the
to train them.
e-procurement, yeah. What will you do? Because people got to be using it now.
No, yeah, we will also go in the county and train the local businesses. We're training moreover for Moreover own businesses. We're going to go in the counties and train the local county businesses.
Okay. Wow, that would be good. The Executive Director of the Public Procurement and Construction Commission, Burgess Carl Johnson, and his Director of Communication, Nathan Bangu, they're here. We're talking about a new platform. The PPCC is going to be launching tomorrow, to get rid of the manual way of doing some of the procurement work they will usually do. They're going to a different stage now, different level now. So Nathan, it gets launched tomorrow and it's operational immediately. Is that what we're talking?
Right now, in fact, it's live. It's operational. Edie just explained where entities now, like the Minister of Health, they are now submitting their procurement plans online. Whatever transaction we want to do in the sector of procurement, they put it online. So the launching ceremony is to declare formally open, just to say there is now a procurement system in Liberia, electronic procurement system, that all of government entities will have to use, beginning with the 6 March. But let me say, Edie hit a particular point on when you raise the issue of the safety or the protection of the procurement staff at the various procurement entities of government.
Yeah.
When you have a reform like this, there's a tendency that people will resist the system. They'll be resistant to change. What we've done, like he said, in the law, there's something there to protect, but it's not real elaborate because they still have some level of control over their procurement officer at different ministry and agency. But to delay it in a way, made a requirement in the law that each procurement officer, before you are seated in our role, you must meet this kind of requirement. But we are developing a complete strategy, change management strategy, to address some of this issue, because some of it will be deliberate. Some of the minister will switch people around and bring in people who do not even know anything about procurement. Sometimes it's deliberate. They try to resist the change. But we'll talk to them in a way that we'll develop a strategy called the change management strategy that we can bring them all on board to make them to understand that when we do this together and train our procurement officers and allow those who are trained to transact in the system, it's a win-win situation for Liberia. So this is why we clamoring about launching formally the EGP system that will now compare everybody to come on board. The last time we made a lot of trips, Edie and myself went to Nigeria. We went to the state of they call it state. So when we went on the study tour, Ido, and we saw how the people are using the system, how businesses are entering the system, and how now there's value for money in the procurement they do in the state of Ido, even in the state of Lagos, because they have the federal government. So with all of our intervention now in the procurement sector, we can just hope that Liberia is going to get better. We'll have savings for development, where now those savings now that will be used in procurement will go for development school. You develop, you build school, build hospital, and improve the sector, all of the sector in Liberia. In that way, we are blessed, we'll move forward. So yes, we are in a new procurement sector. We are in a new procurement age where people now will get accustomed to using the platform as opposed to using the paper.
Mr. Johnson, who's supporting this project? Who's behind it?
Well, I would say this to you. This project is entirely being funded by the government of Liberia.
Really?
Yes.
That's good.
Through some support from the World Bank. But this is a project that must take thanks to the World Bank, our development partners. They have been very supportive of this too. They work very hard.
What are they providing? Technical support?
They're providing the technical support. They're providing the some capacity building in-house. They are very supportive of this. And as a matter of fact, our union renovated or building, they met with me 2 days ago, and they agreed to furnish it. The World Bank, they agreed to provide all the furniture in the new training room. We have a training room now that can take about 140 persons at the PPCC in the back. we did an extension. In the past, we were spending thousands of dollars renting hall at Bedecasa, at Royal, at Boulevard. Was paying, well, last it was paying about $50,000 their own hall rental, just to rent the hall. I mean, so, and this year, bringing the 50 marks on board, there'll be a lot of training involved because we're dealing with a lot of government entities. So I thought it was, look, we're not going to keep renting. I told my team, I said, we have to find a way to cut this renting concept because it's killing us. So we look at our building. There was space in the back. There was a little slab. There was a space being wasted. So I said, we can break this down. We can make it a training room. So we did that successfully. We put a tender out there. 4 companies applied to run a vision work. There were 2 Lebanese firms and some Liberian guys, and the Liberian guys won. Sir, I'll be honest with you. I'm very big on supporting and promoting Liberian businesses.
That's how it should
Personally,
be.
I'm very big on that. I take passion about that, and people say I'm nationalistic, but I'm very big on supporting Liberian businesses. So the Liberian young man won this, and you can see the work. He did a very good work on the roof. So a young Liberian guy, got a team of guys in there. He did the roof, he did the painting, he did the inside slab. Everything you see there was done 100% by a Liberian-owned company. Okay? So we did that success. But let me say this to you. The world we live in now is evolving. We live in an evolving world. The development of the economy depends on us Liberians. This country is 200 plus years old. And globally, things are changing, things are evolving. Most country in the world now get e-procurement. And e-procurement brings about what? Accountability, transparency, and quick development to the economy. And the citizens are going to have to take ownership because it shows transparency. So let's say if you're in the catering business, you can come to PPCC, you look at the tender of Ministry of Public Health or Ministry of Health. They say that we get catering in the procurement plan. When they put a tender up there, you can submit a bid and see what happens to that. So we have to take control of that as a country. We have to be mindful that we live in a society where people try to politicize everything. But at PPCC, we're not into politics. Okay, we make sure that everybody is treated fairly, regardless of your political persuasions. Regardless of that, we make sure that you treat it fairly, and we engage you to make sure that you will get value for money as relates to the e-procurement platform. So to answer your question, the government of Bureau supporting it through, I would say, a loan from the World Bank. The World Bank very supportive too. Also the African Development Bank, they have been very supportive. They have come to us too. They have helped us a whole lot. We've gotten some support from the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program. They have done that as well. So we are more like very grateful to. I must say, to the office of the president very supportive of this, Excellency Joseph Nyeman Boyka, and also to my board, the board of commissioner of PPCC. They've been very supportive of the work we do. The board chairman, Dr. Alvin Faya Kamano, he's very supportive of what we do. So on tomorrow, we'll have major stakeholders at this launching ceremony. We have invited, and most of them have been very responsive that they will attend the major ceremony. The program is a very brief program. There will be remarks by the board chair. I will give us overview of the e-procurement system. And then we'll have the World Bank giving remarks, from development partners, and the Minister of Finance will come in with remarks, and then from there the President in the program. So then to officially launch, the President will just on the click of a button, hit the system, and then officially launch e-procurement Liberia.
E-procurement Liberia, first around. Budget Johnson and his team, they've done a wonderful job. You know, e-procurement, they're trying to make the procurement industry as easy as possible. But one thing he has said, Liberians should take advantage. Let's hear you. 0777700995. Do you have a catering business? Are you a Liberian businessman? Do you own a company? How do you become a part of this process so it helps you get things going? 0777700995 and the other numbers. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Eric here.
Yeah, Eric.
That's one executive director that I'm so proud of in this government. Kali is not only knowledgeable about the job he's doing, but the man is so innovative. And leaders have to be innovative. You wrenching every day some people. You say, no, we have to put a heart to this. How can we take procurement to our people to make it feasible, flexible, instead of opening the e-process? So the internet process is good. These are the kind of people, you know, some of us we are critical. But when someone is doing well, we will praise that agency. And Scully, thank you. I wish you and your people well as you people launch the program tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Hello? Good morning. Do we have you? Yes, we do. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, good morning, Power. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you. My name is Steven, and I'm calling for District 7 to be Steven on Blessing Street.
Steven can be your full name.
My name is Steven Collins.
Okay.
My disappointment of the government officials, and some of them, they can barely look like they need living in this country. And they know for a while how the laboring businesses are struggling. And it's so bad for me. And some of those things, and I need no international donation, and I need no support. We already got a law in the book. And they were seeing the Lebanese. Let's take an example from one Lebanese guy who do cooking jazz there. And you do wholesale, do retail. And the government know good about him. All right? We should watch him do the miracle here. And they know for a while that he got a filling station right at the budget bureau there, which is the heart seat of our government. And they know for a while that this, like they're not supposed to even happen in the state center. And they close their eye on it. And those are some of the promises the government to us, you know, during the capital, that will get our economy back. And some of us were in the sector before, but we move on there because they got marginalized us. All right? This is the reason for me.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Clarence.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good.
Clarence, Tima's Mato. I'm calling from Johnsonville this morning.
Yeah.
Clarence, let me firstly appreciate your guest. I think the PPCC, I think one government institution are highly working. Yeah, because I listen to them, right? I listen to them. Some of these things they just listen and they are working on. I think it will be good. And also, it will also be good to teach our people in the rural places, because these people too need to get access on the procurement activities in our country.
Thank you. You are right. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence, darling.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Brother Prince calling from Debris more open.
Okay.
Yeah, Clarence, all what we see in the government is a disappointment. Because the promise of...
Bossman, 1 minute. Let's talk about the people. We're talking procurement here now. We're talking about the new technology they're launching tomorrow. That's our focus now. You have time to call for all that one. We finish with that one now.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Pizzo.
Good morning.
Good morning to the executive director in studio.
Yeah.
I'm Joseph Jeremiah testimony back this morning from Central Monrovia. I'm the chairman of the Green Revolution of Liberia.
Okay.
And let me thank the executive director. You see, when we talk about governance and government, when you are given a piece of job, it's not about the car you ride or the office space. It's about the innovation and the creativity you introduce to lessen the burden on your customers or the users. So you think that you will take the job and be breaking and boasting and leave the place the way you left the place, that means you didn't do anything. So I want to thank you so gratefully for the kind of job he's doing. Because here he leaves today, Clarence. That system is set up, and that the next person is set up that you maintain it and take care of it. It has already been set up, so you just keep the band running. So I just want to add my voice to the many voices that have commended this morning for the work done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to your studio guest.
Good morning.
Yeah, Princess calling from the Rescue Matters Mission Information Call this morning.
Okay.
I want to tell your studio guest, thank you very much. These are the things that we're waiting for Mama Liberia. And these are the things that you're talking about on the rescue mission. My only prayer for you guys there is that what you want to do for this nation, therefore help you. And I pray that they be pushed so that other people can benefit from it. Other people who can do anything that will be able to benefit from it. So I just want to say thank you, and I pray that it works up in Jesus' name.
No, thank you. Hello there. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Clarence.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your platform. CRC Madam Tokajina Painter like a cloud disclaimer 14. Let me say good morning to your guests and to Librarian following your show.
Yeah.
Clarence, I have to appreciate this young man, this literature librarian from the TPCC, who are stirring up things at their agency there. The TPC has a great lot of work to do in monitoring, government spending. But then I purposely call in and to ask a question. If a particular government agency, carry on certain procurement apart from the TPCC knowledge, what does the TPCC do? That's the question I want to ask.
Thank you. Let's go back to them to respond to some of your concerns. Yeah, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I think I will respond to the last one, because most of them were just comment. But the last guy just asked a question: what do we do if the people don't go through the procurement process? Right? That was the question. And I want to answer the saying that every government entity, once the budget has been passed by the lawmakers, it becomes a law. The entity has to produce a procurement plan, and that plan has to be approved by PPCC. So if an entity go and start spending, we're all having an approved procurement plan from PPCC, that entity is in complete violation of the law. And in that case, most of the time, the Ministry of Finance will not honor any payment requests, or should not honor any payment requests from that entity, because they have to see the approved procurement plan from PPCC that Asan, my compliance director, was signed, Asan and stamp, and goes back to them and goes. So if an entity go and start spending without not having a approved procurement plan, they are in complete violation of the law. And then guess what happened? The head of the entity gets in trouble with the GSC. When the GSC do the audit, they ask for those documents. They want to see a approved procurement plan. If you don't have that, then you're in big violation of the law. In that case, the PPC, we don't have the power to prosecute anybody. GSC take it from that point, the LECC take it from that point. We just in the procurement space. We look at the different procurement processes. That's what we do at PPCC. But most of the guys just give comments. So Ben, you want to add to that?
In fact, just to add up to what Edie said, Section 40 of the Procurement Act of Liberia requires that all procurement entities will have to prepare their procurement plans submitted to PPCC for approval. So in the absence of PPCC approval, and you go ahead to do procurement, but it becomes almost impossible for you to do procurement in the absence of the approval of procurement plan. So if you go ahead to do it, it's a violation of our law. The law says, Section 138 says, any violation of the PPCC law, you who violate can be heavily punished. You could be sent to jail for 5 years for violating the law, or could be made to pay 100,000 or so, depending on the discretion of the judge. So these are all sanction regimes for those who violate. How we apply it now is to go through the court system. I will have a team first that will do the administrative review, the independent panel that do the administrative review, and later on send to the court, because you can appeal to the court, and then it can go there. The court can fine you or do something. Somebody talk about we need to reach out to the communities, to those who in the communities who can also understand the procurement system or what we do at PPCC. This aspect of it, we've been doing some engagement. We increase our engagement to make sure that most of the communities will reach out to them so they can understand clearly what we do at PPCC, what the procurement law is, what are those opportunities available under the Procurement Act, and what the citizen can do, their involvement in the whole procurement area. Because we need the media, we need the civil society actors. In that way, we have a vibrant procurement sector. Most of the issues in the address, they are all commendation, and I like to hear when people feeling the work we do and seeing what we do, they commend the system. So it's a pride for the executive director, who is the vision bearer of the system, and then we all follow because we able to support him to reach where we are. We came from a long way. Today we're proud that we have a system that all government entities can now subscribe to do procurement and then save millions for Liberia.
And to also come back to that, bear in mind that about 85 to 90% of corruption in governments, in most government around the world, starts in procurement. And that's the reason why most government around the world now have transformed to the e-procurement. Because even in Great America, trouble starts with procurement. There's a story in America called the last bridge to nowhere, where people were building this bridge in Alaska for years. Trillions of dollars was spent. They found it was all corruption, and they started in procurement. And so this system is meant to bring about transparency, efficiency, and cost, because it will save the man driving from Maryland just to come to procurement plant of Monrovia. The time on his body, the wear and tear on his vehicle, and the rest of it. If plan gets approved in the system, we say, wow, my plan approved. You go and start spending. The next thing you got to do is submit a procurement report through the system again. So that the procurement thing gets to the process. You do your procurement plan, you execute, and then you report. The report is due every quarter. The quarter report comes to PPCC. So all of that before we go into draft to bring it to us. So now we can just submit it in the system. That will save a lot. And the thing here is, at PPCC, the president can always say, think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia. So here we are thinking how to impact the procurement space. We love Liberia. I love this country dearly. We want to build. And the only way we can build our economy is through the e-procurement platform as one step. It's one step to bring Liberian businesses to the platform, to learn that this time has come for you to give say anybody I can see government tender. You have no excuse now. Or you even get a computer, so like I said, you come to PPCC, we have our e-procurement clinic to help you do these things. So it's important that we take control. And what we're also doing too, we are going to go into partnership with the University of Liberia. They have a procurement, graduate procurement program there. Because we're going to have procurement officers in all the counties. How do we deploy people in there? Because some people in the county can't get universities, they can't get community colleges. So we want to form partnership with them to train people in the county, to be able to train the local businesses there too, to empower them too. So we can just have everything centralized in Monrovia. We got decentralized the whole thing so that everybody benefit. Like you said, how to reach people in rural Liberia. So very soon when we launch it today, we'll be on the road going to the counties. When it's launched today, we'll bring it now. Once the president launches today, we're going to work. We'll have to bring 50 entities on board this year. We're having a series of meetings with our partner, the World Bank, the Ministry of Finance, the African Development Bank, on how we're going to strategize to bring the other entities. We'll bring all the SOE too. Because the SOE, for some reason, we have them on the platform too. That means that the SOEs are the LPRC, the LEC. We bring all of them on board to make sure that they able to use the system too. So it's a great time for our country.
Great time for our country. Mr. Johnson, Nathan, thank you so much for coming. Mr. Johnson, let's get your parting comments now as we leave you.
No, yes, you can
No,
start.
I thought you were finished, Nathan. But you can't. You know I will not tell Amen to talk before you. So Nathan, just part was
Yes, well, Clarence, we like to thank you for the invite, so that we can speak to our people in the radio land, those who are listening and those who got some issues, that will be able to address their issues once it comes to procurement. We're glad that we move from paper-based to electronic procurement. Today, we're proud to report that we'll launch the system tomorrow. The president is going to launch the system and mandate the use of the EGP system. We're glad that we reached this stage. And we are proud for Borges Sky Johnson. Like I always say to people, he's a marvelous man, working together with all of us and making sure there is no distinction, everybody on board, working together, and then we get the job done. So in this way, I'd like to thank the listening public for your role. And then join us tomorrow at the Ministerial Complex at 10 o'clock. We begin at 10 o'clock, where the program will be held.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I want to say thanks, sir. I want to say thanks for having us in the studio. There's something I'm very passionate about, that's burning to my heart. And it's sad me to say that I received 2 procurement plans for entities, the SBA and the non-SBA. And the SBA means Small Business Administration. That's solely for Liberians. That like buying stationery, catering, all that kind of, is solely for Liberians. Every entity in government buys stationery, office supplies. And it bothered me. Sometimes I feel so sad because last year alone we gave, I think I would say 2003, our data shows that $28 million awarded to SBA. That means Small Business for Liberians, $28 million. But do you see that in our economy? Do you see any Liberians who is doing so well, who have a big office supply store, stationery store, or big, or some big huge consultancy that are doing extreme? Do you see that? No, you don't. Because Liberians are fronting for foreigners. And it has to stop. It has to stop, because that's what we can.
They get their own company.
Yes, and very good. So when they come to
Foreigner
us,
use them.
foreigner use them and give them a little token every month.
Yeah.
Every 9% they're talking, 9% they're talking, because when the business come to us, 51%, or let's say, or I would say company B stationery store on Benson Street is owned by Liberian. We go, you don't see no Liberian in there. You see foreigner selling on the document. You see 51% owned by Liberian. Because stationery, according to the procurement law, that's a small business stuff, it means for Liberians. But all the procurement plan we get, every entity has stationery there. But that goes to what? Foreigners. So I'm appealing to Liberians. Let's change the narrative. Open our minds. The time has come for us to take this thing in a different direction now, because the procurement plans of all everything will be online. You go to China, you go to Dubai, you can open your own stationery store here and start supplying government entities for stationaries. So we take it away from the foreigners. So we take control of our economy. So I want to say thanks for having us. Tomorrow is the day. The person will be at the ministerial complex to officially launch this platform. It's a great time for our country. For those of you in the business community, I encourage you to also come. You're also invited to come and witness this program. It's a very short program. And thereafter now, start engaging us, and we're going to make a transformation as relates to e-procurement in this country. So I want to say thanks, and those in Radio Land, I say thanks for listening to. Thanks.
Mr. Burgess Count Johnson is the executive director of the Liberia. That's the Appropriate Procurement and Concession Commission. He was here along with the head of communication, Nathan Bango. Tomorrow at the ministerial complex, they're launching it, man. Taking procurement to a brand new level. That's good. Innovation is very important. Very, very important there. Okay, thank you so much. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Ibrahim Yan, comes in next. All the miraculous visit the people been having these few days, what did they bring in for Liberia? The men and now the man is already here.
When they give they change their mind. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country. They are freedom fighters. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo,
oh, we bring down the music. Our guest is here, but I just got this from the Rule of Law Caucus. I want to read it quickly. The Rule of Law Caucus. Yeah, I heard a lot of people telling me about it. The Rule of Law Caucus of the 55th Legislature of Liberia strongly condemns the continued violation of the rule of law of the House, the Constitution, and the mandate of the Supreme Court. I want another one. I'm talking about the one you're talking about bringing the salary down, man. That's it. Apparently, I missed out on this one. Somebody can send that one to me, and then we'll take it on the. Let me go to Abilities page. Musa Abilities page. I can go there and let's see what he's written here about this thing. Okay, yes, this one, that one. Liberian leaders must sacrifice. Rule of Law called for 50% salary and benefit reduction. The recent decision by the President of the United States to impose a 90-day moratorium on certain funding and aid programs has sent shockwaves across many nations, including Liberia. The move aimed at realigning American priorities and ensuring that American resources primarily serve the interests of the American people, as a stark reminder of the need for self-reliance and strong national leadership. For over a century, the United States has played a crucial role in supporting Liberia's hospitals, schools, and various government programs. This sudden shift in policy will directly impact our country, creating economic and social shocks that will affect our healthcare system, education sector, and essential services. Liberia cannot afford to be unprepared for the consequences. As leaders of this nation, we must step up. We must demonstrate patriotism, self-sacrifice, and commitment to service in response to the challenge. The Rule of Law Caucus strongly believes. Okay, we'll read this one. It's long. Maybe I'll take. Okay, he comes here. He say, in this regard, we are proposing the following: a 50% reduction in the salaries and benefits of all legislators, including both senators and representatives. A 50% reduction in the salary and benefits of the president of Liberia as a symbol of national leadership. A similar 50% reduction in salaries and benefits for ministers, deputy ministers, assistant ministers, managing directors, and deputy managing directors across all government entities. This is not just a policy proposal, it is a call to conscience. When a decision by another government directly affects the lives of our people, we cannot sit idle by and act as if nothing has happened. We must show that we are concerned, that we are willing to sacrifice, and that we will lead by example. Yes, so Musa Hassan Belete is saying that he's recommending 50% cut. He said we should start lawmakers. So today we'll be talking about agreements with Morocco. They were recently in Morocco. They spent a lot of time there. We'll talk about the Democratic Republic of Congo, the situation. I think Dr. Nyen went to Congo. The Minister Nyen went. The UN Security Council campaign. How far is Liberia? June this year, we're supposed to be a non-permanent member on the UN Security Council. And then the president recently appointed a policy advisory at the ministry. What is the significance of that passport? I mean, the policy advisory. And then he will talk a little bit about the passport reform. We hope next week we'll bring the young passport director right here, Gafuan, a young passport director, will come here to talk to us. I went to the passport division. He drove me in and out of the building and talked to me about the kind of reforms that he's carrying on, and we'll talk about some of them. Dr. Nyang, I'd like to say good morning. You were away. We spoke one or two times via the phone, but it's good that you are here in person. How are you?
Good morning, Clarence. I'm doing well. Thank you.
How is the ministry? How is life?
It's going well.
You always wear a smile. Why?
Yeah, because I mean you are inspiring and you motivate us. I mean your words of inspiration in the morning. So when we see you, we definitely have to smile.
Okay. Yeah. Dr. Nyen, how is everything?
Well, we are good, and the work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is quite on course. We are moving at a pace because the challenges of this country demands that you have to move faster. The dynamics change every day, and so you have to be on your feet. And so I would say everything is going well, and everything is going well, but also everything is not so well because we have responsibilities every day that we must deliver on.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Except that bombing really like they counted me, but did not make it.
Yeah, we liked it, but we didn't make it. You know, we won the counted meet before. So for us, it's not about winning every tournament. It's about putting our best foot forward. And what we deliver in 2010, that victory that Bomi won, the match, the control we had at that time, no county had won the county meet in that form and manner. And you remember
think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, we are developing our team. Every year we know that different teams emerge. But I mean, for Bomi County, it's about the sportsmanship. And it's about developing the young talents.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Yang, I know we talk about a lot of things, about your travels and all these things, what it means for Liberia. But let's first begin with the U.S. And I'm bringing this because, you're a student of global affairs and you follow global issues and politics around the world. President Donald Trump has taken over presidency in America, and to the disbelief of many people, even though he said some of these very things when he was campaigning, people thought, it would have taken some time. To what extent will some of the policies affect nations around the world? You think it's just about reviewing them? It's about realignment with America's foreign policy objectives, or what?
Well, it's concerning. The policy directions the U.S. has taken is concerning for, everywhere, even for Americans. They are all asking questions. But I would like us to focus on the issues we agreed to discuss here a few days back. And this is because the government of Liberia is seized of this matter, and I know that an official response from the government will be given to the public very soon.
Okay, Dr. Nye, I know you sit in a position where you may not want to talk a little bit about it because, trust me, you could be quoted anywhere. But let's move on. You spent a lot of time in Morocco. I say a lot of time because you came, you went back, you took a delegation there, all these kinds of things. Why I'm saying you as a government, so much focusing on Morocco?
Well, it's not just saying focusing on Morocco. We have an objective, and that objective is to leverage our political relationship to generate investment and economic opportunities for our country. So it's not about Morocco, it's about this objective. And we've seen Morocco as a potential partner in this. So we've identified several countries, and Morocco is just one of them. And so we are trying to leverage that political relationship with Morocco to generate, through the economic diplomacy agenda of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cyril Beslo-Nyanti, who thinks that the ministry should deliver both on its political responsibility of building relationship with other countries, but most importantly, in this age of development cooperation, the ministry should use its foreign policy as to generate economic opportunities for the country. And so she's very focused on that agenda. Where we have embassies, it's not just about the embassies sitting there to represent the country anymore, just to represent the country. It's about the embassies sitting there want to represent the country to attract people from the country they are in to Liberia. We are talking about investors, we are talking about tourists. So that is the clear mandate we have got from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And so my department responsible for international cooperation and economic integration, we are working to just deliver on her mandate, which she received from the president. And the determination of the president wants to transform this country using private sector investment. And so he gave the Minister of Foreign Affairs a mandate to help bring investment to this country. And so we do this by establishing new bilateral relationships, strengthening existing ones, and emphasizing the need for trade and investment cooperation in these relationships.
Okay, so
this is where we've been using Morocco as one of the many partners that we have to leverage opportunities that we already identified in Morocco.
What was this economic promotion week? What was it all about? How did it end? What do we stand to probably short or medium or long term benefit from it?
So, Clarence, in the middle part of last year, 2024, we endorsed several agreements at the technical meeting between Liberian experts and Moroccan experts. And fortunately for us, our ministers of foreign affairs signed these agreements on the 17th of January. Among those agreements was an agreement on trade and investment cooperation between Liberia and Morocco. Okay. And so implementing that agreement, one of the activities of that agreement is to establish economic and trade cooperation between the two countries practically. That means to find investment opportunities in Liberia for Moroccan businesses and find investment opportunities in Morocco for Liberian businesses. It could be Liberia farm produce, coffee, cocoa, rubber, or even manufacturers that the Moroccans may need. But how do you do this? This should be a private sector, state-owned enterprise initiatives. So the Economic Promotion Week, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Liberia, Madam Cyril Beslo-Nyanti, asked the Moroccans that we have to move this process forward. Because my country now, we need more investment, we need more jobs, we are desperate. And so when she asked the Moroccan Foreign Minister, how do we start the implementation, particularly of this economic cooperation agreement, this trade and investment cooperation? So the best idea put forward was to take Liberians SOEs and the private sector to Morocco to meet Moroccan businesses, Moroccan SOEs, and present potential opportunities that may be in Liberia, hear from the Moroccan side, and then they start to build relationship among themselves. Then they explore opportunities. So this will be followed now by Moroccan trade mission. And I tell you, we went to Morocco, we went with a team of very impressive young Liberian professionals. very impressive ones, technically equipped, fully confident, knowledgeable of their areas. I mean, imagine, I would think about Augustine Frederick at the LEC, who was very robust in engaging on the energy sector, asking the Moroccan Energy Agency for opportunities immediately to come to look into the challenges faced by the LEC, where they could find investment. He was very robust, engaging from from the Ministry of Energy to the Energy Production Agency, talking about our energy challenges. Imagine, it was this economic promotion week that I had the opportunity to learn a bit about this sector, because Frederick had the data, and he had a program that he presented that we are just producing around 127 megawatts of electricity for this country. I mean, with all of with the population and our investment aspirations, the industrial aspirations you have for this country, you need at least a minimum of around 1,500 megawatts for now. And we're just producing 127. But then we met the Moroccan agency. There's a massive desert land, a country with a massive desert land. But they have around 11,000 megawatts of electricity that they are producing through mixed sources. So Frederick was engaging them very robustly. And then you think about LPRC, Mr. Amos Twe, the very progressive managing director who has forced the price of petroleum down and has stabilized the market for petroleum in this country. Amos was engaging, and I mean, his agenda, from what I learned from him in the course of the 1 week, his intention is to keep the prices of petroleum product at an affordable level, even when the global market is shaking. Though it might be difficult when global prices go up, but his intention is to ensure that the market remains fluid, that we do not go out of petroleum products, and when we have them, the prices should be stable. And so he was engaging. I saw him several meetings with potential importers of petroleum products, even making presentations for some kind of modular refinery. So for me, I was impressed. And I've not known much about the Industrial Free Zone or the Special Economic Zone Authority. We have a very young Liberian, Emmanuel Delamain, senior advisor at the Free Zone Authority. He went with proposals on the various industrial free zones. One in Buchanan, there's someone around the Freeport area, and explaining about the incentives if companies come to establish themselves. Then you look at the Freeport again. I'm telling you, the people we carry.
Go ahead. That's what I'm listening.
James Bernard, the Freeport, talking about the partnership they have already initiated before with the Tangier Mare Port. So Morocco is building another massive port in the southern province called Dakhla. So potential opportunities and looking for investors and engineers in the port infrastructure business to look into the Buchanan port. Those are proposals we carry. So we carried private sector actors. Nari B. Davis, the president of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, making presentations to what they call the Casablanca Finance City and the General Confederation of Moroccan Enterprises, meeting businesses, presenting these opportunities. Nari B was very focused on finding linkages, potential for linkages between Moroccan businesses to partner with Liberian businesses in case they are coming here. So what did we get out of this? All of these meetings, we made these presentations. There were one-on-one meetings, bilateral meetings. I know Fredericks had a lot of meetings. Amos Twe had a lot of bilateral meetings. And other agencies had a lot of bilateral meetings, while we're even in the general meetings with these corporations and state-owned enterprises. Now, we are expecting in Liberia, in the shortest possible time, maybe in a month or two, a Moroccan trade mission now to come to Liberia with Moroccan businesses to come and explore in the areas of mining. We have at the Ministry of Mines, Frances Molba, the Deputy Minister for Research and Planning. Frances has a database on the mineral resources of this country, very rich mineral resources, new minerals that he presented to the Moroccan Ministry of Mines and some other state-owned enterprise involved with mining. Frances was just telling them the kinds of minerals that we have in Liberia, neodymium, coltan, all of these things that are being used in mobile phones. Some of them are new discoveries. So you will never get to sell these things if you don't do what we are doing. If you don't do what Cyril Beslo Nyanti has told us to do at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to take Liberian businesses, Liberian economic opportunities, Liberian potentials, take them to other countries, talk about them, let people hear about them, so that they are inspired or encouraged to come and engage further. So this is what we are doing at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that's what the Economic Promotion Week was about.
Okay. When you were there, one group, I know you talked about the, did you just talk about what, the Chamber of Commerce? But I was talking about including somebody from the Liberia Business Registry on these kinds of delegation, because the business registry is a representation of the business people in the private sector.
Indeed, Madam Patience Randall, the head of the business registry, was there. Look, we organized the delegation so that we gave a kaleidoscopic view of the Liberian economy. Come and talk about your sector. Come and talk about your sector. So after everybody has spoken about their sector, Patience will come and tell the people how to register a business in Liberia. That's how the delegation was arranged. NPA, LPRC, what are the opportunities? Ministry of Commerce, what's the general view of the economy? Liberian Business Registry, how does one register a business? Central Bank of Liberia was there as well to talk about financial regulations.
No, I was actually talking about the Liberia Business Association.
Yes, so the Business Association, we've taken them on other trips.
Okay.
This time we carry the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, which is also a conglomeration of private sector businesses.
Okay. Now, so you're talking about a Moroccan delegation coming here.
A Moroccan delegation is expected here to come and do some speculations.
Okay. Well, you intend to take them somewhere, sometime outside of the main capital, Monrovia, for sightseeing, or as part of the effort to strategically convince them?
So we'll do this along with the NIC. The NIC has the full investment profile of this country. So when we receive the full list of the delegation that will be coming in their interest areas, along with the NIC, the ministries, agencies, and specific private sector businesses, will arrange for them a detailed schedule so that they are able to meet people in their areas of interest.
Okay. So what did you go to do to the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Well, DRC and Liberia, we've had a very long-standing historic relationship. Liberia was very active in fighting for the independence of DRC. And even when they got their independence in 1960, just immediately after their independence in 1960, the following year, Liberia got on the UN Security Council in 1961. And the agenda items that Liberia pushed on the UN Security Council were mostly about Congo, DR Congo. Number one, the end of military occupation of foreign forces in DR Congo, the full recognition of the territorial sovereignty of Congo. Liberia pushed those agenda items. And so we thought that there has been a lull in the relationship between Liberia and DRC. But then coincidentally this time around, this year, we are both vying for the UN Security Council seat. And so we are going as part of the A3. A3 is the Africa tree. Africa has 3 non-permanent seats on the Security Council. So the Liberia and DRC will be competing for these seats. I mean, we are not competitors. There are 2 seats available. They are vying for one. We are vying for the other one. So we thought it was time to begin to talk to each other, hold political consultations. So we went there to initiate. The Foreign Minister of Liberia, Madam Cyril Beslo Nyanti, was there a few months back. And so they asked that we begin to have these kinds of discussion, and the Foreign Minister has been very keen on this. So they actually wanted us to mainly talk about the UN Security Council, but our Foreign Minister said, no, we cannot just talk about the UN Security Council. There are other opportunities we could look in. We could look into between the 2 countries. They have a rich mining economy, very experienced in mining. So she wanted us to also talk about the potentials for technical exchange and investment opportunities between Liberia and the DRC, particularly in the mining sector. But when we went to the DRC, we mainly focused on 2 things for now, because we think these are very urgent. Agreement on political consultation between the 2 countries, and general framework on trade, commerce, investment, and even we initiated discussions on visa-free opportunities between the 2 countries. When I was traveling to the DRC, I needed to get a visa. When I travel to other African countries like Rwanda, I don't have to get a visa, even though they are out of the ECOWAS framework. But then going to the DRC, given the relationship, the historical ties, we think that we don't need to ask each other at this time for visa in order to facilitate the free movement of people between our 2 countries, particularly when we want to establish trade and economic relationship, and we are moving forward with deepening our political consultations, particularly that we are both going to be representing Africa along with Mozambique on the UN Security Council.
Okay, now I know the Moroccan delegation is going to come here to explore and do, but did any of the companies or government institutions over there, instantly got attracted to any of our sectors?
Oh, sure. I know very well that Augustine Fredericks, who was pushing very aggressively and convincingly, when I say aggressively, I'm not talking a negative
I
term.
know. He made our case.
He made the case for the energy sector. He had a lot of meetings, and I know that discussions have already started between the Liberia Electricity Corporation and the Moroccan Agency for Sustainable Energy. And then I know that LPRC already made some progress on some private sector investment in the oil and gas sector in Liberia, particularly the downstream petroleum sector, which they are responsible for. Nokal was there as well. Bwaka Jaliba was there making the case for upstream petroleum exploration in Liberia, and I know that he made some inroads. So we had a delegation of 19 Liberians from various state-owned enterprises, ministries and agencies that are responsible for various economic regulations. And so we made a case, and I'm very much convinced and I'm very hopeful that the agencies that went to Morocco will take step forward in ensuring that the necessary investments are attracted. So for us at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that's the role that the president gave us to do. Ask the minister, this is our foreign policy direction, and this is the mandate that you have. Continue the political relationship, but also ensure that the economic diplomacy component is deepened with friendly countries.
Okay. Dr. Nyang is the Deputy Minister for International Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's our guest this morning. Last year, I had the opportunity to have gone with the government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the UN General Assembly to cover that global event where Liberia officially launched its bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council. Minister, how far are we with our campaign to ensure that, I know a lot of times, a lot of people say, we'll get a seat, man, equal supporting the other person. Do we have our hands on deck?
We have our hands on deck, and sometimes we want to be complacent, but the minister is saying, no, you guys have to continue to work until we are seated on the UN Security Council.
Yeah, since 1961.
Yeah, so the minister, she's not resting on her laurels. She's working, moving from one country to another, on doing bilateral engagement, deploying Liberian diplomats in other countries that are assigned in their various areas of assignment are working. She has charged every one of us to use every opportunity to make the case for Liberia. So the status of the campaign, yes, the campaign, we are in a position of position of confidence. We know that we are going to win, but we still know that we have to continue to work until we win. So the president has constituted a national steering committee.
Why do we think we'll win?
Well, we think we'll win because we've been able to convince members of the UN General Assembly that we have the experience in post-conflict state building, and we are a credible country. Sometimes people think that because you are a least and small developing country, you cannot consequentially influence global decision-making bodies, but it's not so. SIDs, or small island developing states, are all mobilizing to support other countries that are interested, and we are a least developing country, but with a post-conflict history. Not just a post-conflict history, but a successful post-conflict history. We are one of very few cases in the world that went to war, signed a peace agreement in 2005 without relapsing after 20 years. Most scholars of state building and post-conflict reconstruction say there is a likelihood, and in many of the cases, that after every peace agreement, in the next 5 years, there will be political instability, there could be civil war, relapse into violence. It's 20 years, or now 22 years, since the comprehensive peace agreement was signed. 2005 is 20 years exactly since we had our first post-war election. And we've continued to maintain that democratic trajectory. We are marching forward, building our institutions. Our electoral processes have been credible. We know that there are challenges in the areas of governance, but the electoral processes, at least over the last 4 election cycles, have been graded and judged credible, fair, transparent. And other countries are coming to our National Election Commission to learn examples. So our electoral democracy is on a course that is now enviable across the continent. And so we think with this record and our history of progressive liberalism on the continent of Africa, supporting oppressed people, helping them to gain independence, we want to leverage all of that. We want to build all of that.
Do we have a competitor?
Well, not to my knowledge at the moment. So far, so good. The African Union has endorsed Liberia and DRC. And then in our own regional body, ECOWAS has endorsed Liberia. Initially, there were other countries in ECOWAS that had interest. But then actually, one of them withdrew and said, we are supporting Liberia now. But then we hope in the future, the ECOWAS will support us. So at the moment...
Who is it?
Well, we should not name them because these were true diplomatic arrangements. So we expect that we'll go to these elections and win. The reason we continue to campaign is because it is not a given, because ECOWAS and AU have endorsed you. You have to convince every member state, or at least 2/3 of the member states. And then when you get there, you don't know which country may just rise up and nominate themselves. Might rethink their position, and then they might just announce themselves as a candidate, or somebody else might just nominate them. So what we want to do is to go to that election with the utmost confidence and with sufficient information that we have, confirming that we have the support of several countries. So this means we engage countries and we ask them through diplomatic notes, through meetings, and then some of them, a good number of them, have confirmed to us that they are supporting Liberia, and we are documenting these things. So the campaign is not just about having these meetings. There's also a technical component.
How do you explain the significance of having a seat as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council? What do we hope? What do we achieve? What is it? Why are we going for it?
Clarence, the UN has 193 members. There are 2 main decision-making bodies of the UN, or let me say 3, the General Assembly being one, but 2 main decision-making bodies outside of the General Assembly, the Economic and Social Council and the UN Security Council. But the most consequential and influential one is the UN Security Council. And it has only 15 members, 5 permanent, 5 non-permanent, 10 non-permanent. And if among 193 countries, your country is selected to be among the 15 that make decisions for the world, you don't think that's significant? It is indeed significant. Number 1, it gives your country greater credibility. Number 2, greater visibility and public trust, even in the international community. This is a country that is on the UN Security Council. Okay, we can do business with them. We need them. We need them to be on our side. That is the meaning of being on the UN Security Council. That's the practical meaning. You are able to sit on the table that makes decisions for the world. So you get attraction, you get respect, and then your citizens are respected when they travel. So it's a lot. There are so many benefits. So you are there on the council that is making decisions on where peacekeepers are deployed. All of the UN Security Council resolution, those resolutions are adopted by 15 countries out of 193. You must be proud if you are seated on that bench, Clarence. So it's going to be very consequential, particularly for a country like us, battered by violence. Now we've gone through 20 years of uninterrupted peace. Significant economic challenges, which President Bouakai has tightened his belt to fight. And so we are on a course. This also tells us that Liberia is no longer a pariah state. Pariah state, you are isolated, not respected in the international community. Your citizens are despised wherever they go. But now you are no longer a pariah state. You are now participating in the most consequential global dialogues of your generation. That is significant.
That's okay, Doctor. Yeah, I just wanted to give you some time to expand on it because I wanted you to create the picture you just created. So it's not just about you being there. It's about talking and people listening. It's about inclusion. It's about making decisions. Yeah, you may not vote, but that authority to sit there at some level. That's what I'm saying.
Let me talk about the permanent members and the
non-permanent members.
All 50 members of the UN Security Council vote on every resolution. But the advantage of the permanent members is that any of them can veto. Veto means I disagree. And once they veto this, it cannot become a resolution. So the 5 permanent members are the only countries with the power to veto UN Security Council resolution. They are China, France, Russia, Great Britain, and the United States of America. And also the fact that they are called permanent member is the fact that they cannot go for election and they cannot be removed. Only the 10 non-permanent members rotate. So Liberia is going for 2 years. Africa has 3 seats. Well, the campaign has been over the last few years reform this council, expand the membership the membership of the African continent on the UN Security Council. We are only 3 on the non-permanent seat. The non-permanent bench. And then we are also calling for the Common African Position is also calling for giving Africa a seat on the permanent bench, at least 2 seats.
We look forward to that.
But interestingly, Clarence, this is something
I was actually talking about vote in the context of the veto you talk about.
No, we don't have veto power.
You can take all the decision on the permanent members.
Let me tell you the role Liberia has been playing, and which unfortunately, because we're very busy trying to solve our own internal political disagreements, and then we went to civil war, so we lost some of our international credibility and prestige. But the AU, the Common African Position, was just adopted in this century, somewhere around 2005 or 6, on the UN Security Council reform. But Liberia started campaigning for UN Security Council reform since 1970. At the 25th General Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richard Henry, represented the President at the General Assembly debate. And he made a case that we must reform the veto powers of the Security Council. So we are also carrying this
as every big guys or even
no, for now it's not about reforming. It's not about reforming veto power
discussion altogether.
What we are pushing now, what the Common African Position is about, making it more democratic, inclusive, and representative of all regions of the world. So what the AU or the Common African Position is, increase the membership of Africa on the non-permanent bench and give at least 2 seats to Africa on the permanent bench.
Okay, I think inclusivity is something that we can be fighting on. Indeed. It takes time. These big countries are permanent there. I'm not sure they want to, but it takes time. But the fact that since 1961, if we get admitted into being a non-permanent member, like you say, it's going to boost a lot of things. But you talk around the world, people listening to you and all these kinds of things. Now, let's come back home here. Recently, the president appointed a policy advisory council, to work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to do what?
Well, the Policy Advisory Council, what we call for short the PAC, is a part of the structure of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's not new. They are always there, experienced diplomats who will come and be in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to advise on very important policy questions, global policy questions that Liberia needs to respond to. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is very busy running the ministry, implementing the country's foreign policy. Her deputies are there as well, doing their functional responsibilities in the various departments. So the Policy Advisory Council has members that have experience in diplomacy and in thematic areas. For instance, some of them have been ambassadors in countries they have worked. So if there is a serious question on, for instance, the Middle East, so the Minister of Foreign Affairs will turn to the Policy Advisory Council, even though she may be following the issue or whatever developments may be taking place. She will take briefing notes from her deputies or her office staff, but then she also call on the Policy Advisory Council. These are the positions of the government. What do you think I mean, what could be? How could we strengthen this position? But then these are also people who, based on their knowledge of the various areas, they are assigned specific tasks. For instance, you don't just have the Policy Advisory Council and they are looking at everything together. You have somebody who has thematic responsibility, for instance, of the Middle East. Somebody who has thematic responsibility, for instance, of NATO. So you count on them based on their wealth of experience and their technical knowledge of these issues, and then they will advise the minister, this is how we did it in the past, and this was the result we attained, and this is how we think we should go this time around. So that is not a new committee. It's been a functional part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You'll remember the likes of Professor Alhaji Krumah during Madam Salif's administration were all members of this PAC. And so the president only appointed them. In fact, at this time, we even need them more, given the fact that we are about to assume a major global responsibility on the UN Security Council. So you need these advisors. Every country have foreign policy advisors in various areas of their responsibilities or areas of their attention.
Are they going to be stationed? Are they usually stationed at the ministry?
Yes, we have the office, the PAC office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where they meet regularly. Okay. They go for meetings and where they do their clerical work. So they are part of the ministry. They are part of the organic structure of the ministry.
Okay. When you were talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo and not needing a visa to go there, I was also thinking about reforms. Yeah. Let's come to the ministry again, where we are now. Let's talk about our passport reforms. When the foreign minister took over, they talk about people returning diplomatic and other service passport for a period of time to do cleaning and all these kinds of things. What have we done in the context of reform at the passport sector there?
Well, I think the institutional mechanism has been streamlined. The turnaround time has been reduced. The cost of the passport is still what it was a year ago, but we've also reduced the incentives for middlemen to participate in the process. Middlemen or passport brokers always inflict the cost of passport. So we've made sure that the bureaucracy is streamlined and people have access to the system. That is, you go online, you do your application, and the response mechanism and feedback mechanism have all been reformed to the point that they are more efficient. But I shouldn't go into the weeds of these things since you have already promised to bring Paul here. Let me not say everything that Paul will have to say. He is more knowledgeable of this. He's implementing the reform. Very progressive young man. He's been trusted with a very significant responsibility, and he hasn't let the minister down. He's implementing it. There are testimonies around. You go to the Passport Bureau now, there is massive public information on the bulletin board telling you the processes, and people are giving very good feedback that people are going to the Passport Bureau now, applying for the passport and getting the passport maybe in 7 working days. I mean, Paul will give you more information on this, but I can tell you that Paul is doing an excellent work at the Passport Bureau.
I think so too, because I went there and he did a drill, moving from one office to another. The way they even giving the passport out, and he was telling me about moving beyond the ministry. He said to me, Clarence, it doesn't make sense for somebody living with Pinsville to just to come to foreign ministry just to pick up passport. Why don't we establish places all around the place?
But the vision of the minister is bigger than that.
Okay.
The minister wants to establish passport service offices in the counties. So she has plans for 3 regional centers. Zredru, she already deployed a staff who did an assessment, and so you could just one day just walk to the Zredru Passport Center, apply for your passport, stay in Grangide and receive it. So the minister has bigger vision for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and she's implementing them incrementally.
Implementing them. Liberia's Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration, right? Something?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, International Cooperation and Economic Integration, Dr. Ibrahim Nyang. He's here. Let's talk the talk. Let's hear from you. 0777 700-995. Yeah, when we were beginning Camille, they said Liberia went for peacekeeping mission in Congo before. So I think that's the history Dr. Yen was talking about. So we got to go back and establish these relationships. Hello?
Good morning, Piso, and good morning to Dr. Yen.
Yeah?
My name is Prince Mara. I join you from Electoral District 13 to people south, Chocolate City, for the policies having this morning. Let me appreciate the data in studio. Clarence, I beg you, let me just read my number to the data. It is important. Member of Chocolate City need to see the data because we plan a program for him. Let me just read my number before he leaves the show, please. 0775 933 253. Dr. Jen, please give me a call after the show. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Peter.
Yeah?
Good morning to the doctor there in studio. From the nation's capital, I'm Thursday morning battery.
Yeah.
And let me say thank you so gratefully to the doctor there in studio and the team at the Foreign Affairs. When the president appointed Abraham, there was no doubt in our mind because we knew exactly from whence he comes. Ranging from a day in high school and other areas, he has always said with diligence and has always want to see the best coming out for his people. So I want to say a very big thank you to him and the minister too for the collaboration because you see teamwork brings success. Because one there is a fragmentation now in the area there, then you see people will start to do their own thing, but you can clearly see that the foreign affairs now is on the rest of the territory and put it together, particularly because the passport is a very sensitive document. So when you have an organized person saying our department or division, then you can now see that their movement around the sub-region would be a very healthier and happier one for the general public benefit.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Let me use this opportunity to say good morning to the minister and my people in Barabra, Maryland County. My name is Shetra K, and I'm phone for District 11 this morning.
Okay.
Let me commend the minister for the level of work done at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, commend his boss, Minister Deslo, for all they are doing for our country in building our country international image out there. But I'm basically concerned about what came out recently about the minister meeting with the president of Burkina Faso. For me, that's somehow because Burkina Faso and other countries who withdrew from the ECOWAS or this, then we meeting with them, especially they are associating with Russia and all of that. I see it somehow, and I see it differently, and I see that our other partners too will see it as a problem. So I want him to clearly respond to what was the intent, what was the real reason they met with the president of Burkina Faso and onwards.
Thank you. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning, President Clarence Jackson.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Daniel Fidi. I call you from the Lake and Honeyland, NTA.
Okay, Daniel.
Yes, I want to thank your studio guests so kindly because, you know, our country has to go forward. I'm thanking you, Dr. Yen. You please put our country to the foot that everybody will respect our country because even our passport, people now tell me to respect our passport again. So you please put our country on the map. You don't listen to propaganda from the other people or from the other side. Let our country be a place of rest.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hello?
Yep.
Morning, Sergeant Clarence Jackson.
Good morning.
I'm Andrew Andrew Fire, resident of Kaweni, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I have just one question for the doctor. I want the doctor to tell us, because over the past regime, we saw our diplomatic passport being used by foreigners in the international community. So let the doctor tell us what are these measures that
the ministry have put in place that our diplomatic passport.
But diplomatic passports can be used by non-Liberians, except that there are different channels, there are different ways. Let's get that clear.
Yes, like during the past regime, we saw it was used illegally.
Okay, maybe that's a key word. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Clarence, thank you for having me on your platform. Let me say good morning to your studio guest. I'm CRC Emmanuel Super Junior of the Interlaja Cloud District 14. Clarence, I struggle to know the difference between the two. Yeah, they want to infill and want to foreign affairs. I want to know, is it the one who says he's a Liberian scientist? Which one of them is the scientist?
No. That man over there is Dr. Dubek Chris Nyan. That man is Nyan. That man is Nyer. That man is Yang. That man is Nyan.
Yeah, which one of them is the scientist then?
The one at the Enfield is the scientist.
Okay, thank you for clearing that part, because I read the point,
You told a scientist they appointed as diplomat, eh?
Yeah, but anyway, Clarence, thank you for the platform. Let me appreciate the folks at the Foreign Affairs. I'm sure they're going to stand out and clear some of the myths that brought this government to power, that foreigners cannot hold diplomatic pass, because you just listened to the previous caller before me, that foreigners can actually hold our diplomatic power, but this is the way the government came to power. However, we call on the government to do the needful and see how you can work on the integrity of our passport division. As I leave your platform, Clarence, I'm concerned about Liberia's relation with Burkina Faso. I don't know if Liberia has gone so much broke. Are we so much broke that we should go for aid from Burkina Faso, a country that have just,
But other presidents are going Burkina Faso, to the extent that President Dramani Mahama invited the young president of Burkina Faso to his inauguration program. The man went there, he even went there with a gun on his side.
Yeah,
other people are visiting Burkina Faso.
Clarence, we are not saying it is a wrong thing, because the Burkinabe, their issue with ECOWAS or the Western country is a different issue. They are receiving cabinet issues. I've listened to some of their great speeches, I listen to them. But the problem here is, I listen to the foreign ministry, that they are even encouraging Burkinabe investors. Do they have money in Liberia? Are we that much poor? That's my concern. It's not about.
Thank you. but let's at least you forget that ECOWAS is still, even though they've pulled out, but ECOWAS is still engaging them to see as to whether they can reconsider. And these engagements are done through foreign ministers and through presidents and at the highest diplomatic levels. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm Wendell Miller, calling from Broville.
Okay.
Good morning to you, Dr. Yen, for your splendid presentation this morning. I think I want to do something on the flip side of what Dr. Yen was talking about, the delegation in Morocco. Their interest in investing in Liberia, trying to look for new investment opportunities across Africa, especially greener Africa, Liberia being, a virgin country. I think it's a good thing. But, Morocco is an Arab-speaking country. So we have to look at our curriculum, because one of the pillars of this government is tourism. So we have to look at the curriculum at the University of Liberia to see whether we can infuse the teaching of Arabic. Because you're talking about two sisterly countries coming together to build ties. They get more that affinity. You got to draw that affinity. Because if you're speaking Arabic to an investor, they feel more comfortable. They feel more aligned to you. So let's look at the university curriculum to see whether we can infuse Arabic.
Thank you, Minister. Let's come back to you. You listen to the different colors. Minister Nyan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Clarence, thank you. And I've listened to the callers, and I think there are a few issues that I need to clarify, and because two callers touched on this Burkina Faso issue.
Yeah.
First of all, let's be clear that Burkina Faso is not a rogue state. It's not an isolated or pariah state. Burkina Faso is a West African country. They were member of the Economic Community of West Africa.
That one put a mark too. Reshaped. Okay.
The Burkina Faso was a member of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, but there is an ECOWAS principle on change of government or democratic transitions. The ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Governance condemns unconstitutional change of government. Unconstitutional change of government is wherein a government takes power, or someone or a particular political organization or the military takes political power without going through the constitutional process. And so ECOWAS condemns that, and under ECOWAS, if any country experiences a UCG or unconstitutional change of government, they face sanction until they return to democratic governance. So that's what Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have been going through. They were sanctioned by ECOWAS, and all ECOWAS has asked them to do is to work out a transitional framework through which they may return their countries to constitutional rule. But then the three countries have disagreed with the ECOWAS proposal, and so they decided to walk out of ECOWAS. This doesn't mean that they are not part of the fabrics of the West African society.
In fact, ECOWAS issue a communique that I read that even though they've pulled out, countries should still respect their passports and their trade and all the kind of things.
And we have a 6 months transition period until July 29, 2025. The windows are open for continual dialogue. We'll continue to engage them. And if they deem it necessary to return to the regional bloc, they will be accepted by ECOWAS. But ECOWAS is determined not to compromise on this principle against unconstitutional change of government. All they need to do is to lay out a framework for constitutional transition. And so we continue to engage with them. They are part of the West African economy. You have thousands of Burkinabés in Liberia. And so you're not going to sever diplomatic ties with Burkina Faso. They are still a full member of the United Nations. They continue to participate in all UN activities. Niger, Mali, Guinea, they all continue to participate in international affairs. And so ECOWAS has left the windows open. And let me tell you this, what we haven't said, and I think the president mentioned this, that our foreign minister has by herself been doing shuttle diplomacy, trying to bring these foreign ministers, talking to them to find opportunities, windows of opportunities for them to come to the table to dialogue with ECOWAS. This is an initiative Liberia has been leading. And the president mentioned this in his State of the Nation address. Why ECOWAS, though we may be going to another country soon, taking Liberian businesses, state-owned enterprises, and government agencies and regulatory authorities to scout opportunities. And also, we will be receiving a lot of trade missions in the next few months.
Really?
This is how it all begins. People have to come, they have to explore, they have to know what is available before you could even start to talk about generating agreements, signing contracts, and then getting on the ground to do the practical work. So it's not easy, but we are not resting. We are working. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is determined to implement her agenda on economic diplomacy. So I thank you.
Okay, Dr. Ibrahim Yang, Liberia's Deputy Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He was our guest here this morning. We're taking a break. We'll be back here with the Thursday, February 6th edition of the OK Morning Rush. Now you have an idea of this whole Economic Promotion Week that was held in Morocco. He says the LPRC, the Liberian Electricity Corporation, Business Registry, and other institutions went there. They talked, they met with their Moroccan counterparts and people in the private sector. Now, as a result of those discussions, a delegation from Morocco is expected in the country a month from now or two to come to explore opportunities for possible investment in Liberia. On the issue of our election as a non-permanent member in the Security Council,